Whoa, baby. It's decision time for the New York Jets on Aaron Rodgers. And apparently, according to NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport, they have been in discussions. Aaron Rodgers and the Jets, and a decision's coming this week. Let's go. It's time for Boy Green Daily reacting to this breaking news coming in on Super Bowl Sunday. Boy Green Daily starts now.
I'm going to lose my gosh darn bananas. Boy Green Daily starts now. Zoinks!
I made it clear that my intention was to play, and my intention was to play for the New York Jets.
Yeah,
What's going on, everybody? I'm Paul Eston Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show, also available wherever you get your podcast. We had plans to talk about a different topic today, but breaking news just came in, and that's the gift of being able to audible at the line of scrimmage here, of getting to the latest news. And it's on this New York Jets and Aaron Rodgers looming decision we've been talking about all offseason, and we're going to break it down here on the show. And my special guest for today's show is the favorite that everyone's been like, where is this guy? Why is he be on the show? What's going on? I'm like, hey, man, we're getting him on the show. And that is Hop on Pop Eston Zone. Graces us with his presence on Super Bowl Sunday. Pop?
Hey now, back from Abu Dhabi, back in the great U.S. of A.
Hey,
Good
quick
morning,
question
Coffee Club.
is what happens in Abu Dhabi stays in Abu Dhabi? Is that sort of the same thing, or what's going on there?
That makes no sense, but yes. Nothing exciting happened in Abu Dhabi. Let me tell you that.
Well, you were on this show. I thought that was pretty
100-hour plus work week. That's what happened in Abu Dhabi.
Oof. Okay. That's oof. That seems like a lot of hoopla that happened over there. So I'm glad you're back in the beautiful United States of America, baby. And it's a good place to be. And I just want to say this off the top, regardless of the topic we're talking about, I know we're going to go back to getting one of these, baby, a New York Jets Super Bowl ring.
Tomorrow, you shake the Etch-a-Sketch. Let's fricking go.
There you go. So shout out to the beautiful Jets Super Bowl ring there. For our audio-only listeners, I was just showing the the replica Super Bowl ring that I have at my house, and I look at it. And you're right, Dad. Tomorrow, Etch-a-Sketch, everyone's 0-0, and we'll see what happens. By the way, real quick off the top of the show, MFC with a gifted membership, baby. Absolutely. Boom. Terrific. Thank you, MFC, for that gift. By the way, that membership went to Hunter Hadziki. You are now a member to the Boy Green Coffee Club, baby. So shout out to MFC. That's another raffle ticket for the contest, baby, which we appreciate. That's your fourth raffle ticket this month. Beautiful. Thanks for cooking. And we appreciate that. I'll have to update the banner here in just a moment. But there's another thing we have to get to here before we get to the start of the show. And it's number one Austrian Jet fan. Cue the sign for everyone. A pop appreciation super chat, which is beautiful. Zariah Luna? Wow. One of the best, baby. We appreciate it, and thank you, number one Austrian Jet fan. We have put that super chat aside for you for pop appreciation. Absolutely wonderful. And
do we know if the number one Austrian Jet fan lives in Austria?
We do. Yeah, he is. He has since confirmed. He has since confirmed city. I'm not sure if he gave address, but he certainly gave that for that as well. So let's get
just for the record. I kept track on the map when I flew over Austria.
You did? Okay. I don't know if he saw that, but yeah, it's a thought that counts. So I appreciate that. So yeah, like I said, we're going to get into a different topic today. And in a way, we're going to still get to that topic. But first, let's get to the breaking news. This is from NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport, who dropped this literally right before the show. The New York Jets and Aaron Rodgers have been in discussions about his future, and a decision on whether the four-time NFL MVP returns to New York could come as soon as this week. New Jets head coach Aaron Glenn and general manager Darren Mucci have great respect for Rodgers, the Super Bowl champion and probable first-ballot Hall of Famer, whose 2 seasons in New York so far have been a mess of injuries and underwhelming results. He's 41 years old, and looked at for much of 2024, but keeping Rodgers would give the Jets new regime optionality in free agency in the draft by relieving some of the pressure to find an immediate answer at the most important position. If Rodgers stays, he's most assuredly has to take a pay cut from his scheduled base salary of $37.5 million. Several decorated veteran quarterbacks all took pay cuts at the end of their careers, including Peyton Manning, Ben Roethlisberger, Drew Brees. I'm reading this from Rappaport here, and then a couple more sentences here. Rodgers likely also needs to commit to being with the Jets during the offseason program to learn a new system under first-time offensive coordinator Tanner Engstrand, something that would benefit all parties. So there's all the latest, Pops. They've been in discussions. That's something Rodgers confirmed. He was at a Phoenix golf event, and he spoke with a reporter and said that they've spoken. So both sides. Glenn said at his press conference they had been texting, and now we've got a conversation and all this jazz. It sounds like a decision's coming this week, and wow. Okay, here we go. This is the big move for all the other moves of which direction the Jets are going to go here, Pop.
Yes. I don't get it. Like, we're in discussion with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Like, here's the discussion. Aaron, you going to play this year? The end of discussion. He answers, then you're done. That's it. That's the end of the discussion. And then the Jets decide because the Jets are in charge. It's hopefully it's a new, unlike the past 3 years, counting obviously from when he was signed the offseason to now, unlike the last 2 or 3 years, whatever it is, he's not in charge, right? Aaron Glenn is in charge. And so are you going to play? Yes or no? And then we'll get back to you if you're going to play here. That's all there is. There's no discussion.
I agree, but the first discussion is, to your point, you ask Aaron Rodgers if he wants to play. Obviously, that solves a lot. If he just says no, then okay, I guess they have to go in a different direction. If he wants to play, the Jets have to huddle back up and go, all right, do we want this guy or not? And that's an important decision, especially for a brand new regime coming in. Okay, he could come back. So we could have Aaron Rodgers, and then you have to kind of simulate it out. Okay, so let's compare Aaron Rodgers to every quarterback that could possibly be available within reason. Free agency, draft, and it's early to make a draft decision because you still have so much more work to do. But reasonably speaking, at 7, what quarterback are we again? Okay. Any trade possibilities? Your pro personnel department has been keeping an eye on that, and they keep an eye on possible trades that could happen this offseason. And you compare and contrast and weigh. And obviously, the other big thing we have to weigh, and you've been highlighting this the entire time Aaron Rodgers has been here, is the extracurricular activities with Rodgers. That he is not just the quarterback for the New York Jets. There's a lot of extra that goes about him, whether it's Pat McAfee interviews or that he could do podcasts during the offseason about other things and about non-football related items. Personally, I don't give a flying hoot. It's all to me about winning games and stuff. And the locker room. That's another big one, obviously, about his potential impact there. Now, I don't know if you saw it, Pop, because you were in Abu Dhabi working a 100-hour work week during this Super Bowl week here. But Thomas Dimitroff, longtime NFL general manager with the Atlanta Falcons, drafted our boy Matty Ice. Great decision there for Thomas. He said, and by the way, Thomas interviewed for the Jets GM job. He was the first person to interview. He said that he advocated to the Jets to move on from Aaron Rodgers. And he gave his whole spiel why. And he says he believes, so this is Thomas here, he believes Aaron can still win and he still has gas left in the tank that can play well. But he thinks because of the potential, this is just, again, he hadn't met Rodgers or anything in terms of being in the league. But he said, you know, the extracurriculars in the locker room, that's a sacred place, basically, I'm paraphrasing. And no, I think it'd be best just to kind of split size, move on, allow Aaron to go enjoy more time or with a different football team, but he would move on. He said he would have spoken if he gets hired. He would have spoken with Aaron to give him a chance to have a conversation to see if he could change his mind. But he said that's how he was feeling, and that's what he was pitching to the Jets during that interview process.
Yeah. So there's a lot here. All right. Okay. And so let's start with this. Okay. You got to evaluate Aaron Rodgers as a quarterback. Forget everything else. Nobody gives a shit. It does not matter to the Jets how many times he's won the MVP. All that shit does not matter. Doesn't matter at all. Where is he today? Right? You evaluate that. And then you evaluate all the extra crap that comes with Aaron Rodgers. And then you evaluate, if you're Bougie or Muji or whatever his name is, and Aaron Glenn, then you evaluate how long your runway is. Because if this Aaron Rodgers thing does not work out, that jacks your runway up. Now is your time to start fresh. And then if he's hanging around, he does his Aaron Rodgers thingies and all that stuff, like you can evaluate that. You can evaluate it's a new offense for a very old dog. right? So you put all that shit together, right? And then you realize, let's just start with the first leg. You realize, at best, he was an average quarterback. Average this year. Average quarterback, right? And unless he's playing the Dolphins, if he played the Dolphins every week, he'd have 6,000 yards fucking passing. But you know what? He's not going to play the Dolphins. He went 2 full seasons. He was the longest starting quarterback with the longest drought of a 300 passing yard game in the NFL before he hit it. And then he'd hit it against the Dolphins, right? Against the 2 games against the Dolphins, the 2 best games of the year. You take that crap out, it doesn't look very good. 32 games between 300-yard games, and that's not counting the 15 or 16 that he missed last year. That's talking about games that his ass was in. And then where was he at the end of those games when he had the chance to win the game? What was he doing? Not winning the game. So really, realistically, he ended up with 3,800-yard passing. Great job. But really, where did he stack up? And not just on the yards, but when the game was on the line, he had the ball with timeouts. How did that work out? Right? That's what he needs to get evaluated at. And then you take the equation, well, how does this other crap going to come in? Is he going to really be dedicated? Is he going to really learn this new offense for 1 year? Right? And by the way, how well did he run the last offense? He underutilized the tight end, right? A lot of dink and dunks. He got Davante Adams, and it didn't pan out like we thought it was going to, right? He had Lazard. We all know how that worked out. Sorry, Woody. But
that's right.
I'm just telling you, got to evaluate the full equation. But that other part is a big part of everything else he brings. And literally, you and I, we're the GM and the new head coach. We have a 5-year runway. Let's just say we have a 5-year runway.
Sure, that makes a lot of sense.
We take Aaron Rodgers, and let's just say it doesn't work out.
Sure.
Now our 5-year runway, at least probably 2 years of that runway are now shit. We got to rebuild the runway because 1 year is scrapped, and now you're starting again. So you start now. You start with a new quarterback. Next year doesn't pan out, and let's be honest, it didn't look like he's got 3 or 4 years on him. He's got maybe 1. So now you got to restart. You got to flip the script. What am I doing at this quarterback, at the replacement? That's why it's 2 years down the shitter. 2 of the 5 years, I don't take the risk.
Yeah, I guess I view it differently so we can walk this out. To me, I view Aaron Rodgers as a guy that at most for the Jets, and how I see it outside of him having, again, I don't think Aaron Rodgers, my expectations have changed. When Aaron Rodgers first got here, I'm like, we're getting MVP Rodgers. This is going to be great. I can't wait. And then now that the injuries have happened, and then I saw a full season after the injury, my MVP expectations have disappeared. Houdini. Those are gone. Now what I expect with Aaron Rodgers is just, I don't know, draw the line. Average starter, fine. Let's call it that. That's what I believe Aaron Rodgers will be. And with the options that are out there, I'm like, boy, which we'll get into in a second, I'm like, you can make a case that he comes back. How I would see it is you have Aaron for 2025, and I don't expect him back after that. So to me, it's a 1 more year run thing. Again, barring something unforeseen. All of a sudden, 2 years removed, he looks even greater. You're like, whoa, wait a second here. Maybe we got a longer runway than we thought. But to me, I'm evaluating it right now as a 1 year thing. And then let's go with your plan. And I'm sure we'll do a full episode dedicated to this in the future because we'll have plenty of time. You draft Kyle McCord in the 3rd or 4th round. He's sitting behind Aaron for this entire year. That's why I don't see it as like, geez, Aaron's blown up our entire plan. And that would make sense if you have Aaron, Tyrod, and some other veteran. You have no youngster on the roster that's doing this. And then it flops and burns in 2025. Then in 2026, you're like, shit, reset the entire room. No answers. Okay, let's get a guy. Then there's a reset period. To me, I think you could kind of skip that if you get one of these mid-round quarterbacks to develop. Aaron moves on, and then in the next natural step of progression, that next kid is the guy to take over your program. And okay, now we're not starting from a baby crawl. Aaron kind of got us jogging a little bit, and then this rookie young quarterback takes the baton and continues to run from a light jog, hopefully do, more of a faster paced jog than a sprint.
Yeah, no, it's done. The experiment fizzled, crapped out. And by the way, I wouldn't say exactly as I predict. It did turn out exactly as I predicted, Aaron Rodgers. And so did the Davante Adams experiment. It's time to move the frick on.
Okay, so you've made it clear. You're ready to move on from Aaron. So if it was up to you and the Jets move on from Aaron Rodgers, again, if you're just joining us, we got 300 people in the room. NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport just announces before the show they save a lot of their nuggets for Super Bowl Sunday. Jets and Rodgers have been discussions about his future, and a decision is expected to come as soon as this week for him. Okay, so let's say the Jets choose to move on. We don't know that yet, but let's assume they choose to move on. Who is your starting quarterback in 2025, and who is your backup quarterback in 2025?
The answer is I go get a backup quarterback.
Okay, so like some veteran.
My starter. Yeah, you got to evaluate what's out there, what we want to do. I would say there's 3 viable quarterbacks in Minnesota. I would take any of the 3 to be my backup quarterback.
And right, I always forget about him. Yes. Okay. All right.
Right. I'm talking about back. I'm not talking about headliner, but all 3 of them are acceptable backups in the Minnesota quarterbacks. And you're going to be, and 2 of the 3, or at least one of them is going to be available. And we don't need a barn burner, right? You need somebody that can come in like you need a Cooper Rush. And I'm telling you, right? He's come in. If you look at his win-loss record, he has one of the best win-loss records in the history of the NFL as a starting quarterback. Right, he just comes in, he manages. He's not a superstar. He manages the game, and he wins the games when he comes in. That's what you need a backup to do. 4 or 5 game stretch, have a backup. And any of the 3 in Minnesota, I'll say again, could do it.
All right. The conversation we were going to have on the show before this breaking Aaron Rodgers decision news came in was on Davante Adams. And the report came out from Ian Rappaport. The Jets and Davante have not spoken since the Jets have hired a head coach or GM. To me, that's much ado about nothing. The power structure was just hired last week. And, I think it's very simple with Davante. If Aaron's back, Davante's going to figure it out and come back. If Aaron's not back, Davante's going to be like, yeah, see ya. I'm going somewhere else. That's kind of how I see it bluntly. So I see no real reason, no offense to Davante and his family, but I see no reason to talk to Davante until we know what's happening with Rodgers, because then the conversation is going to be a lot more clear. All right, let's work to a solution. Davante, you want to play with your buddy? Let's rip up this contract. Let's do whatever you want. And if he's gone, the Jets, I'm sure, will attempt to try to see if they can keep him. And Davante can just say no, and the Jets will have no choice but to cut him outside of potential trade possibilities, which are out there in the universe, which could be discussed. So you're for, it sounds like, you didn't want Davante in the first place, and you still don't want him back now under any circumstance.
Yeah, I don't think so. And I'll tell you that he is impacting Garrett Wilson. And that's what I said when we went to sign him. We don't need him. He's impacting Garrett Wilson, right? Aaron was over forcing Davante the ball, and so Davante, I'm not going to just, he produced, right? But not at the level we thought he was going to. And it did. It caused problems. I don't know what it is. It's got to be something in a receiver's DNA that they're a psycho bitch. But historically speaking, if you list the number of people that are unbalanced in the history of the NFL, most of them are wide receivers. Where does that go? Why is that? I don't know. But I like the trade you proposed, by the way. And we talked about it before the show came on. And people will be surprised to hear that the statistics between Cooper Kupp and Davante Adams are almost identical. And the difference is Cooper Kupp is like a prototypical teammate. Like, he's the guy you want on your team. He's the guy that they're throwing him the ball. And you know what he does? He catches it anyways, right? And by the way, if you line Davante and Cooper up today, Cooper's faster, just for the record. Just for the record. If you look at the stats, PFF and all that stuff, Davante's speed has been going down. You know who's clocked in at 20 miles per hour as a receiver? Cooper Kupp has. You know what the average speed for Davante Adams? 12.8 miles per hour last year. He is slowing down. But their stats they're both great receivers. Don't get that wrong. But they're both averaging about 880 receptions a year and just about 980 receiving yards. It's almost identical. Davante's getting a touchdown and a half more per season over 12 years than Cooper. But other than that, catches, yards, it's almost exactly identical. It's very interesting. One has an 8-year career, one has a 12-year career, but they're a mixed match set. And Cooper Kupp would be the receiver you want when you get a Kyle McCord, right? When you want somebody that's going to, work together and build that relationship. I think it's Cooper Kupp.
All right. We'll still talk about that trade because I think it's interesting because there's another future here to discuss with Davante. But before we do that, EZ Edward Ziff has a YouTube super chat coming in. We appreciate it.
Wow.
There you go. There's a raffle ticket for a contest, EC. He says, with or without A-Rod, the point of this season is about how the coaching staff can show improvements across the board in performance of the position players. Agree or disagree there, Pop?
Yeah, it's really about, right, and I'm sure they're doing it right now. Like, where are we at with this? Where are we at with that? There's a few positions where they can go, oh, we're good. We're good. And by the way, we may have a chip here that we can use to augment, right? They need to evaluate every position, look for where they need to fill the gaps, understand their cap space and how they can move it around, right? And I'll talk about, right, the running back room. That looks pretty good over there. Just so you know,
Sure.
maybe we could flex out one of these guys, who knows, but we don't have to do anything at running back. So that's what they need to do at every single position. They look at their big fatty in the middle thing. They're like, maybe we need to do something here, right? They got Quentin Williams. No argument there. Obviously, anybody beside him is a better player, but that helps a lot in the passing on the middle, on the stuff in the run. We need to get him some help. But anyways, yes, they have to evaluate every need that they have. And with cap space and their draft stock, I think they're in good shape.
Yeah, Aaron Glenn, if he doesn't make the playoffs in year one, it's not going to be some crazy thing without A-Rod. Of course, that's what Jet fans will be begging for and wanting. And again, there's 7 teams in each side. So, with the talent that's on this roster, excuse me, there's a chance that they're able to do that if they can figure out, obviously, this quarterback position, which obviously is easier said than done, whether it's Tyrod, whether it's Aaron, or some other option that we're not talking about. That's certainly possible. But yes, how these position players are going to be important because let's say none of the big ones get paid. Because Jeremy Fowler told me maybe it's not so easy that the Jets are just going to pay Garrett Wilson this offseason, despite the fact they're allowed to pay him, because there isn't a lot of precedent for paying wide receivers just after 3 years. So maybe they push it all out. So it goes to this evaluation. Breece Hall after the season, free agent. Garrett Wilson after the season will then only have 1 year left on his contract. That'll be that 5th year option. So a lot of that evaluation will be interesting, and that's the big mystery of Tanner Engstrand. We don't know who the hell this guy is. He's been an OC at the college level. He's been an OC at the XFL defunct UFL level, and here we don't know what he is, but it's a box of mystery. Could be good, could be bad. So there's a lot of ways to go about it, which let's put it aside for that topic we're going to talk about here on the show, Pop. Let's show it up here on the screen. This was the proposed trade, not from me. I can't take credit for this. This was Zach Rosenblatt of The Athletic proposed this in a column as a potential landing spot, and here's what would happen. The LA Rams would get Davante Adams into 2025 5th. The Jets would get Cooper Kupp into 2025 4th. The evaluation, of course, being that Adams is a slightly better player than Cooper Kupp. And the thing I would say to that is, because I posted this article, trade proposal on social media, and a lot of it said, I'd prefer Davante over Cooper Kupp. And then I haven't said it, so I just saved it for this show. This isn't about who you would prefer. Because the only reason you'd be trading Davante is if you're moving on from Aaron. Because, again, Aaron stays, Davante stays. Aaron goes, Davante goes. And if Aaron goes and Davante won't stay because Aaron's not here, the best bet for the Jets is not just cutting Davante and allowing him to just go to whatever team you want. Because if you cut him, you don't get a comp pick. It's only when your players just reach free agency organically. So if you cut him, you don't get a comp pick. You get Zip and Pip for the 3rd round pick that you invested this past season. What I would immediately do is if the Jets are moving on from Rodgers, is I bring Davante in the room and say, Davante, okay, first off, any chance you come back? Okay, no. All right, well, I'd leave that door open if you didn't. Okay, you don't. Fine. All right, Give me teams you want to go to, and let's try to work this out, because the Jets are just going to lose this asset if Aaron Rodgers decides to leave and Davante doesn't want to stay here. Davante holds the cards. He could refuse to restructure his contract, and the Jets will have no choice but to cut him because of how his contract looks. So I would work with Davante and say, hey, can we get you to a place you want to go, and we get something? And the something in this case would be Cooper Kupp, a former Super Bowl MVP who in 2021 held the triple crown in the NFL, who's just held this season by Jamar Chase. He led the league in catches, he led the league in yards, he led the league in touchdowns. So Cooper Kupp is a incredibly talented guy. You mentioned it, Pop, that he's the first one in, last one out kind of guy. He doesn't want to leave LA, but the Rams are making a decision above his pay grade. So that was more about this conversation, not who would you prefer, because in this case, to me, Pop, there's no prefer. You're either losing Davante or you're losing Davante. There's no keep Davante if Rodgers leaves, in my mind.
Yeah, I mean, and that's it, right? I said they had similar stats, right? They obviously have both gone through some things recently, but I would tell you that, right, Aaron leaves. And by the way, Davante plays better with Aaron for the most part. Aaron leaves, Davante's not going to stay. It's the same thing. What can we get for it? That's the way the Jets need to start thinking across the board, right? Whatever happened in the past, happened in the past. Those checks have cleared. We spent the third round Davante. Was it worth it? Probably not. Only because you got him to win games, right? They didn't win a lot of games, right? It wasn't all his fault. That's not what I'm saying. But, right, do not let him go for nothing. And that's it. And, right, and just to be clear, am I saying they're exactly equal? No, I'm not. Am I saying that Cooper Kupp is going to come in at the discount double check as well, right? Right. So it's got to make sense across the board. I think having Cooper, as opposed to having Davante Adams having to cut him or making this trade, Cooper Kupp is willing to take less to be that, helping and truly be the veteran that is going to make Wilson better. Right. Whereas Davante, he taught a good game at first. I'm not sure he made him better. So that's what I'm talking about. Exactly what you said. We're 100% aligned. You got to he's an asset. And how can we get something out of him? Or if he forces us, we're not going to get anything out of him. We're going to, third round draft pick, sucks to be us. He's not going to renegotiate his contract. All right, see you later. Thanks for coming.
Right.
The rental, to return the rental car and move on. So hopefully it does. Hopefully they can get something out of him. That was the point of my talking about Cooper Kupp and Davante Adams. If we could get something for him. Not that the value and everything else.
Yeah, I would just say on Cooper Kupp, I'll be honest. Cooper Kupp, the name, I still see Cooper Kupp as this superstar wide receiver and does all these wonderful things. And then when the Rams said, we're trading him, I was like, man, Cooper Kupp, why would they trade him? Let me look at the stats. And obviously there's been a decline. The last 3 years, he's struggled to stay healthy. He has had less than 813 receiving yards in 3 straight seasons. He's had 67 catches, 700 yards, 6 touchdowns, 59 catches, 700 yards, 5 touchdowns, 75 catches, 800 yards, 6 touchdowns. That's the last 3 years. And then, like I said, he had that crazy-ass Triple Crown season in 2021. But I can't believe that Cooper Kupp's only had 2,000-yard seasons in his career. So, I guess some of what we hype up people to be to what they are in terms of the raw numbers is sort of interesting. But, Cooper Kupp is all those things that you said there that's intriguing. The only potential problem is, and again, for the Jets, it's Davante losing him or getting something for him, and Cooper Kupp is certainly more than nothing. But, when you see Cooper Kupp, the only potential fear is it appears to be a clear decline. Maybe it's age catching up to him. I don't know. Injuries catching up to him. I'm not sure. Those last 3 years, when you stomach those and just put those on the table, the most recent 3 years, it's a pretty good sample size. That's a little bit concerning for anyone that may dip their toe in the Cooper Kupp waters.
Right. And it's all about what you're planning for him. What did you think when they brought in Davante Adams? Did they bring him in? Was it the plan when they brought him in for a third round receiver to pair with Aaron Rodgers, the team, Butch Cassidy, Sundowns kid, right again? Was Davante brought in to be the second wide receiver 2? Was that what he's brought in for? Or
I was
did you run
naive. I thought he was when he came in. I was an idiot. Obviously, I was like, perfect. Garrett's the clear number one. He's this budding superstar. But you get another number like Davante is a number one on the surface. Like, man, this really talented guy. But Garrett has looked up to him his whole career. Like, man, this is going to be perfect. Davante. People are going to be like, oh, shit, Davante's a much bigger name than Garrett Wilson. We're going to cover Davante, open six up for Garrett. It's going to be great. And for a few times that certainly happened. You had to draw coverage to Davante, but I was an idiot in not seeing the potential Aaron Rodgers forcing Davante thing being a thing so consistently, and that certainly was the case at the tail end of the season.
Right, and to that end, I that was what I was worried about. He's going to come in, they have a relationship, right? They're bunk bed buddies. Are we doing it to become best friends? Yes. So, anyways, but Kupp comes in,
okay,
and the definite, hey, just so you know, we're going to bring you in. We're going to do this trade, blah blah. You're number two, right? You're coming in. We're bringing you in to be number two to Garrett Wilson, and I don't know him personally. We don't hang out at the barbecue, but I believe Cooper Kupp, with full recognition, would understand and come in and accept the role. Right. And I'm not,
I agree.
Ill.
I think
I'm not
he would.
speaking ill of anybody, but that would be, you'd bring him in for that point. I think it was not clear. The Jets did not make it clear. And I think to their error, right, they didn't make it clear. Like, what does this look like? Obviously, you throw whoever's open, throw them the ball. But there is wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2. And I don't think it was clearly defined, which is what caused some of the problems.
There's no doubt about it. That certainly was an issue. And now we're where we're at. So, again, we got to see what this Aaron Rodgers decision is because, again, that will obviously reveal what's happening there. Let's get some YouTube Super Chats in. FL Phil 98 Philium in here, which we appreciate every time we get a YouTube Super Chat. Hear it.
Wow.
Beautiful. That's 3 raffle tickets for Philium. Congrats, Chef Kev. THKS. Thanks, number 1. And let's we can throw up Chef Kevin Gilbert's emoji, baby. Again, shout out to Jets Worldwide, aka Snowball, for cranking this out. We got Chef Kevin Gilbert. And Pop, I don't know if we've talked about this on air with you, but we could just talk about it a little bit with this super chat coming in. Chef Kevin Gilbert, I've been talking to him behind the scenes that he is interested in potentially catering our game that we're talking about here and menu and all this other stuff. Is there any musts on a tailgate menu, certain foods you'd like to see from Chef Kevin Gilbert? Again, this isn't official. We're just kind of hemming and hawing here on air, but is there anything you want to see?
Yeah. You got to get some, grill some Italian sausage. Like that's a must. Okay. And some burgers.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I think there's got
to
be a good burger.
See, everyone else is like, oh, yeah, Italian sauce. That's tailgating. Only you. I need a burger. I don't eat anything else.
Burger is a classic. It's a staple of the tailgating community.
Yeah, it also dries out. But anyways, but I think
Chef Kevin Gilbert knows the tricks of keeping things the way they are. He knows what he's doing.
But right, you get the Italian sausage, the onions, the peppers. It's
okay.
So that would be that. I would, and you don't church it up too much there, Dirte. You keep it simple, right? People like, well, I'm going to have, Brazilian taco, whatever the hell. And you're just like, no, let's keep it simple. Let's keep it quality.
Yeah. Keep an open mind. I think Chef's got some, he's had some really cool ideas. He brought up one of the menus he did recently where he incorporated beer into the food. That sounded really interesting. So, yeah, again, we're talking about it behind the scenes. Nothing official yet, but we are looking for the couple hundred people that are in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe. We're talking about doing a big game. It'll be Hop on Pop, Boy Green, and maybe Woody will be along. And everybody for doing a tailgate for a game, doing a ticket package, hotel package, all that jazz all together. So we're working on those details. Schedule isn't out till May, but we're talking about some of the skeletons of what it would look like. Because as soon as the schedule comes out, we would love to very quickly be able to jump in and have all our stuff ready. So keep an eye out for that. So thank you to Philium here for the $10 super
That's right.
That's 3 raffle tickets. Yeah.
By the way, no disrespect to Chef Kevin.
Yeah.
But you know who is always talking about and posting food pictures on the Discord and other things? It's
yeah,
motherfucking
MFC.
Always,
yeah.
He's always got some unique things cooking. So
I will say this, and this came up a couple weeks back. we have a lot of talented members of the Boy Green Coffee Club that bring all kinds of different skills to the table. Now, I'm not going to force anyone to do anything they want, but that's a great point that you just brought up. If MFC's got some things he would like to bring to assist, feel free. You have Uncle Tio, obviously, that was on the show a lot, and, he's another person that has, like, DJ experience. If there are people that have skills or talents or whatever, obviously, for folks that are part of the Boy Green Coffee Club, reach out to me and offer your services if you'd like to be a part of it, because I'd love to kind of work you in as it's kind of like an amoeba-like thing right now. I'm trying to solidify certain things in different areas. That's a great point. Like kind of amorphous, kind of,
Did you just use a word that you don't know anyways?
Yeah, amoeba-like, it's a squishy, movable thing here,
Huh.
Doesn't make sense? All right, anywho. But the point serves. The point serves. Is long story short that people have a lot of different skill sets and stuff. And I don't want to force it. Like I said, I reached out to Chef and said, Chef, you don't have to do this. Just because I'm asking you of this doesn't mean you 100% have to do it because you're Chef. But it would make a lot of sense for your business if we could put all the pieces together. So if people have skill sets in the audience that they'd like to flex and help utilize, that would be awesome. And I'd love to make this a big family affair where everyone's coming in from that perspective. All right, let's
get some
go ahead.
Special gear, hotel
sure.
Grouping package.
Mm-hmm. Ticket grouping DJ package where we all sit together. 100%.
Yeah.
We just want to kill it. So I can't wait. So yeah.
And I just want one thing, that I can't go like this and touch the top of the stadium. That's my only thing I don't want. If I could put my hand back here and I'm touching it's between touching the top of the stadium and high-fiving God. If we could, not that it's bad to high-five God, by the way, blessed be he, but I don't want to be able to touch the top of the stadium or lean against it.
Okay. You just got to watch out, because if you do that same move, I get it, in our last seat, you would have touched the roof, and the others, you'll touch a titty or a dong. So you're going to want to make sure we keep our hands and arms inside the vehicle at all times. We're going to get it. We'll get it. That'll be another brainstorm sesh. We'll see how close people want to be, because obviously closer you are, the more expensive it is, but obviously the experience is what truly matters. So we'll be doing a lot of that in the Discord. If you're a member to the Boy Green Coffee Club and you're not on Discord, I'll make sure I reshare that link on YouTube, the community. That's something you get on your phone. Basically, it's a way for us all to communicate. It's like a Slack group. It's a Google Chat group. There's a million different ways to slice it there, but that's how we all communicating ahead of time for this big event that we will be doing. There's super chats, there's membership gifts, and so much more to get to.
And there's popcorn bets. But by the way, I no longer owe Jared B. popcorn.
Is it a statute of limitations thing?
No. We bet it, and he lost.
Oh, you did like a double or nothing or something? Okay.
That's right. He said the Redskins. Oh, not the Redskins. The Washington football. Well, anyway, he said that they're going to beat the Eagles, and then he lost his popcorn.
Yeah, well, different things happen to
it. It was a little musty, by the way.
Okay, that's gross. All right, let's get another super chat here on the show. We appreciate it.
Wow.
All right, Arthur Sochka here. That's a raffle ticket for a contest. You also have some money left over. I'll keep track of that on Excel for future super chats come in. Every raffle ticket is $2.99. So we'll explain what you guys are all gifting for in a moment. But Arthur says, if AR and DA come back next season, DA will have to be number 2 wide receiver because Garrett Wilson is number 1. That will have to be the way for this to work. Do you guys agree? And I couldn't agree more. It was almost because, like, at the end of the season, there was this narrative. I don't know if it's true because I don't know Garrett and Aaron personally, but there was a narrative that Garrett was displeased with Aaron. And I think part of the reason was the Aaron Davante Adams love fest, if all this is to be true. And that the story that was out there, again, who knows if this is true, Garrett called a lot of stuff BS at the end of the season, but that Garrett does not want to play with Aaron the next year, and that could upset him and potentially lead him to requesting a trade. There were some reporters that shared those nuggets at the end of last season. If that's true, I'm picking Garrett over the old guy at any point because Garrett Wilson is that. Now, that rubs a lot of people the wrong way because they're like, hey, Garrett can't just be, putting his foot down and getting that sort of thing. That's not a good sign either, and we could debate that. But Garrett Wilson is a wide receiver 1 on this team. And he has been really good. For Jets history, he has more receiving yards than any other Jets receiver in this franchise's history through its first 3 years. But still, I'm left going, he could be better. He could be a 13, 14, 1,500-yard receiver. We just haven't seen it yet. Inconsistent quarterback play and a lot of reasons for that. So 100%, if Davante comes back, hopefully we have a full, if he comes back, obviously we'll have a full offseason to look what this offense looks like. He won't be, he being Davante, injected into the middle of the season, and it throws all the hoopla off. We should have a full plan, a full new OC, everything. That should all be figured out during the offseason, and hopefully that's a smoother operation. But no question, Davante or no Davante, Garrett Wilson should be the straw that stirs the drink on this Jets offense, Pop.
Yeah, 100%. If he, and again, and I don't know what is it. Woody, was it Douglas? Was what? It just seemed like there wasn't a clear, and hopefully Muji and Glenn have worked it out. That we're going to make the decisions, right? And that would have been a conversation if I interviewed. So every interview is a double thing. I've talked about this before, right? Mm-hmm. You're interviewing me for the job, and I'm actually interviewing you to see if I want to work for you, right? Now, I'm not coming here with a tin cup and, sir, could I please have a job? It's you need a head coach and a GM. And by the way, it hasn't worked out lately. How's that working for you? So it's a double way. Hey, I'm going to need this. You want me to be successful. I want to come and be successful. I'm going to need to make these decisions. No questions asked. And by the way, I'm just going to do them. That means I'm not calling you. I'm not asking you. And I'm not talking about signing someone to a $500 million contract, Deshaun Watson. But I am talking about, I've got to be able to, when I have that decision with Aaron, I say Aaron's not the quarterback for me. If Aaron Glenn makes that decision, he's the one that ultimately has to make it, then he's got to be able the power to make it without calling the Woody Johnson checking the Madden stats, if you see what I'm saying.
No, that's true. The Madden rankings or things of that
and
nature.
By the way,
just
for that, before we move on, when I was looking at the Cooper Kupp, Devante Adams differences, I looked up their Madden ratings for 2025. Devante Adams was a 91, and Cooper Kupp was a 90, and that was, and they track it week by. And it's weird.
You're talking about this is the Madden ratings adjusters, right? So that's the updated number you're saying.
Yeah, and then they track it throughout the year, believe it or not, of like how they do that.
Where they moved
until today. Yeah, so where with and Cooper Kupp started off as like an 89 in week 1, and then he went 90 the rest of the year.
Oh, that's fascinating.
I didn't know that. So when I was looking stuff up about the article, kind of digging into it a little bit, it was interesting. So.
Well, the more you know. How far video games have come when me and you would dust off Madden and you get it brand new and then you plug it right in and play, and now you have to get the game and put it in and say, the game's got to download for 7 hours. Okay.
That is annoying.
And then it adjusts, right? There's update. I want to play. Oh, there's an update. Sorry. That never was a thing. So, I first world problems, I guess. But Arthur Sochka, thank you so much for the super chat. We got another one. Fastest Food Reviews, a.k.a. Chef Kevin Gilbert, is watching the show.
Wow.
And this, along with your previous super chat, Chef Kevin Gilbert, gave you another raffle ticket. Good morning, Boy Green and Pops. That stuff's easy. Anything else? Here's something off the top of my head. Wings, man. If there's some good wings. Now, that's harder because wings, I would imagine, based on my restaurant touring here, is that wings are expensive. So, if you're and how many wings do you crank out for that amount of people? How many people were expecting? Because obviously that's more stuff that feeds into the food stuff. But in theory, wings sound really cool. But I don't know how Chef Kevin Gilbert will know this because he does it for a living, of how realistic some of these dreams are we're throwing out there.
We need to save the frying oil for some fresh cut fries.
So
not fries, for not, those are talking about cost. Right? Potatoes are somewhat cheaper.
That's a good point. Yes.
Than wings, and you can't have like 12 fried things. I don't know what that. I mean, I'm not just what does it look like? But if I was going to fry something, some fresh cut potatoes. By the way, the best meal I had in Abu Dhabi.
Okay.
So you go, and it's crazy. Like everywhere you go, like there's a Pizza Hut, there's a Taco Bell, there is a Kentucky Fried Chicken everywhere. It was really surreal, and so, long story short, we did this bus tour, went to see a bunch of things, but
Okay.
Some of the food not great. Right at the plant, they have like at some point 100 different nationalities working at the plant, and they have this lunch buffet kind of thing where they try like 7. Like they had Asian food, they had Indian food, they had Mexican food, they had Spanish food, all these different things. They had American food. Long story short, it wasn't good. The American food was not good, and I didn't want to eat anything that I'd have to reenact the scene from Dumb and Dumber with a colon blow. So the best meal I had was Five Guys, and it tasted. It did exactly. You would never have known you were in the Middle East. Five Guys. The place looked exactly the same. The hamburger tasted exactly the same. It was. Thank God, it was the best meal I had.
Okay, well, there you have it. So yeah, well, fries are a great idea. Again, I say things and my pop brings us back to reality here. So fries makes a lot more sense. It's cheaper. It's that's something that a lot of people like. You could crank out a ton, I'd imagine. So that makes a lot of sense. So yeah, a good burger, fries, Italian sausages, things of that nature. And I'm open to interpretation. I'll have a conversation with Chef Kevin Gilbert. He's obviously done these tailgate things before. He would know other items that have been popular that could make sense. So we'll definitely work that in. So Chef, thank you for your service. More conversations to come, I'm sure. Alan here said, did the Jets hire Dre Bly yesterday? So the Jets did not hire him yesterday, but he is hired. And breaking it down was Sauce Gardner, actually. He was speaking of video games, he was at a Madden video game event, just doing some media. And he revealed that he has met Aaron Glenn and everybody in the building. He started going through some of the coaches, and he mentioned, and Bly's going to be the cornerbacks coach. So he actually broke that news. That news was not out in the ether. But yes, Dre Bly, he's a former Super Bowl champion. I'm sure you remember him, Dad. He played from the late 90s to the mid-2000s. I remember him when he was on the Broncos, opposite of Champ Bailey a little bit there. Super Bowl champion, 2-time Pro Bowler. So, he had a wonderful career. He's been a cornerbacks coach at North Carolina. He's been a quarterbacks coach with the Lions in 2023. Most recently, he was with the Charlotte 49ers in college as a defensive analyst. So he's been hired as a cornerbacks coach. Another former player for Aaron Glenn. It seems like he's got a type. If you're on the dating profile, former player, that appears to be high on the radar there for AG, which you got to love.
Right. You want the coach. You want, you can hire somebody, but, the street cred that where the guy is coming from because you know where he's been. There's 100%. A lot to be said for that.
There's no question. So shout out Alan. Yeah, Sauce actually broke that news, and then a Jets reporter came out yesterday, Mike Mitchell of the Jet Press. He ended up confirming that news as well. Look at this for Lily and Big D with a 10-pack of Boy Green Coffee Club memberships. Let's go. Shakalaka. This is banging from for
Have
Lily
you been
and Big
slacking? When I've been gone, have you been slacking? You have a new updated raffle award graphic.
Of course, I have a graphic. What kind of shop do you think we're running over here?
The kind that I took you 6 weeks to do one after I, as the director of marketing, I directed you to make one, and it took you a long ass time.
Hey, things take time, quality over quantity, all those other things that people say. And yes, here it is on the screen. Let's throw it up there. This is so for Leah. I'll also update your banner there as well for where you stand with all the tickets. But what you guys are all competing for those who don't know, is this. Let's throw it up here on the big screen, baby. We have a New York Jets signature football. This is one of the most exciting things that we've given away. I really love this thing. It looks awesome. I already have it here behind me. It ships to so it's an easier shipping job, but it comes with a football stand. It comes with a pump, so you don't have to worry about that. You can display it in your office, your fan cave. It's got Aaron Rodgers' signature on here, Garrett Wilson, Olu Fashio. It's got everybody here on it. It's terrific. Yes, on there too. And a New York Jets Nike Salute to Service long sleeve and a custom laser engraving package that combines Jets logos and Boy Green logos together. So all three of those items will go to a lucky person that bought a raffle ticket. And again, you can buy a raffle ticket in a lot of ways. The easiest way is either buying a Boy Green Coffee Club membership for yourself, which is a YouTube membership here on the channel. You can do that in the description down below of every YouTube video here on the channel. That is join the Boy Green Coffee Club. Click here. It's $2.99. Or like Fleur Lily and Big D and a few others have done during the show, is gifting memberships. There's no limit. You can get as many raffle tickets as you like. Obviously, the more you have, that increases your chances of winning it. We'll be giving that prize pack I just showed on the screen away on March 1st. but you have the rest of February to collect as many raffle tickets as you can. So shout out to Fleur Lily and Big D here, baby, with another wonderful gift of prizes coming through, huh, Pop?
Yep, it's amazing, and salute to Service. It's a great package. So what's the updated standings? You're working on that there?
Yeah, I'm working on that too. But also, Pop, I don't know if you have it readily available. I know you do that phone thing when you're watching the show. Can you see the 10 new members to the Boy Green Coffee Club there from For Lily and Big D?
Give me a second here.
Okay, beautiful. But while you're doing that, I'll make sure I update the board here for Lily and Big D, who has now 16 gifted memberships so far this month. That is now reclaimed sole possession of second place. So number one Oster Jet fan with 61, for Lily and Big D with 16. And then rounding out the top three, there is Jimmy Jets with 10. So shout out there as well here on the channel, which we appreciate.
Yeah, it looks like it's not. Looks like it's not doing it.
Okay, that's all right. YouTube is on and off for that sort of thing. But for Lily, thank you so much. And thank you to the 10 people that got a Boy Green Coffee Club memberships. EZ's been on the show today with all these super chats. And a shout out to EZ. His message is always pay it forward. And you could do that in two ways. If you received a membership, you could gift one to someone else. Or at the end of the month, after you enjoy all the free perks of the Boy Green Coffee Club, you could choose to re-sign and do that. You'll get an email that will allow you to continue to do it. Again, it's only $2.99 a month. So shout out to For Lily and Big D here as well. And also, I see this in the chat, Pop. We have Connor Long, the real Connor, which is sort of sick. I don't know if you got to check out the show yesterday, but we had a fake Connor in the chat. And by the way, whatever freak is out there that's making a fake YouTube page for a 13-year-old, it's sort of sick. So whoever's out there, let's try to avoid that. Spend your time doing better things.
So we need to do like a Dateline sting like they did back in the day, right?
Yeah.
And lure this person in and give them an old-fashioned, a beating.
Yeah, it's just that was weird. We had a German Connor. It was quite strange.
What'd you do today? Well, I masqueraded as a 13-year-old teenager.
Right.
What? What the fuck?
And apparently, if their mission was to get us to talk about Zach Wilson randomly for 15 minutes, and I guess it worked, but it was quite bizarre either way. It was just quite strange from that perspective. We got 600 people in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe for all the new people. Again, I'll reiterate the topic a few more times. The Jets and Aaron Rodgers have been in discussion about his future, and a decision could come as soon as this week, according to NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport. This was breaking news right before our show started. So big time stuff. It seems like the decision's coming. And let's just talk about the timing of the decision real quick here, Pop. I know it's a bacon light and also church light that'll be soon emanating from that door beside you there. But I'm glad that it seems like the decision's going to come as soon as this week. And that's good because we have the combine at the end of the month. That's the week of like the 24th, 5th, 6th, 7th. That's when the players are going to report and practice and all that stuff. Or do all the drills. And then a few weeks after that is free agency. The sooner the Jets can know this, the better they can prepare. Because if you have Aaron Rodgers and Davante, I imagine your plan for the offseason is much more different as opposed to Aaron's like, I'm out. And you're like, oh, geez, what are we doing at quarterback? Oh, geez, we now all of a sudden need a wide receiver 2 to Garrett Wilson and maybe more because Lazard's leaving and everything else. What can you count on for Malachi Corley? The timing of this is if it really does come this week. So today's the 9th. So we have over the next week that we're going to find out by the middle of February. That's not too shabby. That should be plenty of time to get the Jets ready for this big pivotal offseason.
Yeah, and by the way, it's February 27th to March 2nd for the combine. But absolutely, this is in my opinion, right now that you fill out the coaching staff, right? This is the first biggest domino to fall, right? Your salary cap, what you have to move. You do all this analysis. You do the Aaron Rodgers, which is going to do the Davante Adams. That's huge because let's say you're going to go, okay, Aaron, you're going to retire. God bless you. Good luck to you. Davante, we're going to work out this trade thing so you can go somewhere else. Hey, by the way, we've done the analysis. We're going to draft Kyle McCord. We're going to have Tyrod Taylor start off as our starter. By the way, now this is the lump of salary that we have available by doing those things. Now we got to fill to EZ's point. Now we've done the analysis. Here's the gaps you have to fill. Like, this is the beginning. This is the largest piece that everything else follows. And so, yeah, absolutely. The sooner, the better. Now that we've got the GM, the head coach, we're filling the coaching staff. Figuring this out is the most crucial thing. I wouldn't want to do almost anything else because everything else, the available cash, everything else kind of hinges on this. Because you're not paying Aaron, at just an example, right? You're not paying him that $30-some million a year. You're not paying Davante $30 million a year. If that's the way you go, and whatever Aaron Glenn, right? This is him. This is his team. Whatever decision he makes, 100% behind. But you don't have that $60 million, and you're rolling with Tyrod for whatever he's making, $7-8 million, whatever it is. That opens up a lot of possibilities to fill some of these other holes through the draft or through free agency. Anyways, or you're keeping him now. Okay, now we got to make some moves. We got to, it's huge, and you really, I don't see doing anything else before you figure this out.
Yeah, and to your point, we mentioned this beginning of the show, but I just want to reiterate it, that if Aaron and thus Davante comes back, again, I think they're connected, both in, both out. If they come back, both of them have to get their contracts reworked. So that's part of the conversations, too, of like Aaron says, yeah, I want to play football. I don't want to retire. Then the Jets and him go, oh shit, well, we got to work on this pretty quickly. These are seismic decisions here. Your contract. Aaron's taken a pay cut before. He says he's open to doing it again. God bless. Davante obviously would have to take a quote-unquote pay cut. He's not getting $36 million. That'd be the highest paid wide receiver in football. So he's obviously not getting that. But there's a lot of give and take that has to happen here. And maybe to the point that sometimes when you take pay cuts, you want to have some say in where that money then goes. And so that's another part of it, or of the strategy of like, okay, instead of making up here, you're going to make here, and we're planning on reinvesting this here. There's a lot of conversations to be had. Also, just random comment, I want to make sure I got this in here. For Lily and Big D said, if Five Guys was your best meal in Abu Dhabi, that can't be saying much for the food in, Abu Dhabi, Pop.
Yeah, kind of, except that I'm not, like, I was with a guy that, like, he ate goat brain and he ate a goat eyeball. He was there to assist me. And so, right. And he was eating something at lunch one day. And I'm like, hey, what is that? He's like, I don't know. And so me, you know what I eat that I don't know what it is? Nothing.
What's that?
Nothing. Yeah. I'm never going to eat. And I've had some bad experiences eating some food that's had some spices or other things of that nature. So if I don't know what it is, I would say it's more to speak about me than it is about the country, just to be clear and fair.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that, because that, again, for Lily and Big D is right. Like that can't be saying good things about the food. It's like when you go on vacation and you should avoid like McDonald's and stuff, because you could get that anywhere. You should be, writing the delicacy of the locale that you're in. But, I get why you, after hearing goat brain and goat eyeballs, why that may be. Was your person that you were with trying to do fear factor level stuff of like, haha, or is that just a natural delicacy and they were just cool with eating that food?
Actually, he was with a bunch of Emiratis, which is, by the way, the appropriate term. They were having they grilled a goat, I guess, and I think he was the only one. Like, he ate the eyeball, and they're like, I think some do. I mean, like, it was there, but they were surprised. Like, there was two, and I think only one was eaten.
Okay. I wasn't sure, because, like, if everyone's doing that and you just want to be a part of the community, I'm like, okay, it's disgusting, but okay, I get it. But yeah, if he's the one startling Emiratis, that's a different conversation. Another higher pop. I'm not sure if you saw this. Shout out to June the GM here with a YouTube super chat on the channel, which we really appreciate. Thank you so much.
Wow.
John, either Berger or Berger, one of the other. The Jets have hired a special consultant to help with game management scenarios. Now, I just want to make this clear. This is specifically shout out to Brian Costello, who broke this news. He is a game management coach. Berger has worked for the Giants from 1987 to 2021 in various analytical roles. He's also worked for the NFL since then as the VP of replay. So it sounds like a really important job here. Now, For people that don't know, Salah and even the one before, Gase, they had these people. So it's not like, wow, Aaron Glenn is doing something no one has ever done. But getting someone that's actually good at it is the preferred thing here. Yeah, and Berger here, wow, 87 to 2021 or whatever it was with the Giants. That's like forever in a song. And obviously they won a bunch of Super Bowls during that period of time. I think that was 4 of those Super Bowls might have happened there during that run. Not too shabby. So, yeah, this is, as June the GM said, thank you for the Super Chat, pal. We'll put that down on the sheet. That's interesting and a very powerful hire.
That's right. Hey, there's 2 things I want to talk about before the church and Bacon Light. Okay. One is, did you hear that the police were called in New York and the Celtics were arrested for clubbing the Knicks like a baby seal last night? I don't know if you heard that, but
no, I didn't. But I'm glad that you brought that up because my radio partner, obviously on the airwaves, is Jim the Man-Child Lurch, and he's this big Knicks fan and former season ticket holder. And he talked a lot of shit earlier in the week, saying like, "Hey, man." We're about to, all season is like, you feel that breathing on your neck. You're like, my Knicks are coming for your Celtics, and they didn't come. Yeah.
It's too bad I won't be able to listen to the show because I would love to call in and
that'd be terrific.
And the second thing is I want to give my Super Bowl prediction.
Oh, please, yeah, go ahead.
Super Bowl prediction. Right. So I would tell you that if it wasn't for the Bills. I tell you that I believe the team that's going to take down the Chiefs is one with a phenomenal rushing game. And if the Bills hadn't taken the Ravens out, the Ravens would have taken the Chiefs out. That's my opinion. And now that they're playing the other team, right? There's 2 teams, to me, the best 2 running backs, the running games in the league were the 2 superior running backs that changed teams. And I think the Eagles will win. It'll be based on Saquon Barkley, and it won't be the passing game of the Philadelphia Eagles. I think Saquon's going to go over $150 in rushing yards, and that is going to be the key to victory for the Eagles. I know most people are thinking the Chiefs. It's not Chief hatred. I just think they're not going to be able to stop him running. He's been, if you could give the MVP to a non-quarterback, I think it would be him personally. Because what's the difference between the Eagles losing 7 games in a row last year and squeaking the playoffs and them coming in and steamrolling? It's him. So I think they're going to beat the Chiefs. And consequently, if the Chiefs are going to win, it's because they held them to under 100 yards, right? So I don't think that's going to happen. So that's my prediction. Eagles. Eagles, 150 yards for Saquon Barkley.
Wow. So, by the way, Saquon, if he has that game today in the Super Bowl, as you said, he would break the all-time single-season rushing record, including playoffs, which was held by TD, Pro Football Hall of Famer Terrell Davis. So, you're talking about the run for the regular season, and also additionally for everything you gain in the playoffs. So, fascinating. So, again, what was your final score, or did you give one?
I did not give a final score, but I'm going to go with 35-31.
Oh, great. That's just like the last one. So high scoring. I love it. That's terrific. So, okay, there you go. And an Eagles victory.
And I will not chant Eagles because I would vomit and throw myself in convulsions. But there's an A after the E, people. I just want to educate everyone.
Ooh,
it's not
the mayor.
E-L. Right? Yes. It's G-E-S. Only the mayor of Philadelphia. How would you know how to spell Eagles?
That's a good point. Yeah. I'll just say real quick, I'm taking the Chiefs. They're inevitable. They're winning 3 in a row. I hope it's a phenomenal game. I love Saquon. So as a former running back, Saquon has a special place in my heart. I love Saquon. He does the game the right way. He's a classy guy. So I love all that for him. But, yeah, I just feel like the Chiefs just know how to win games. They always find a way. So
shout out to those people, those reporters that went up to Snapperhead number 87, whatever his name is.
Yeah, Travis Kelce. Yeah.
Yeah, and Patrick Mahomes, and asked those referee questions, like, who's your favorite ref? So if you haven't seen those, go look for those. Just the initial look on their face, they're like, but it was awesome. Now, they both handled it well, but it was for just a second. It's like they tasted something that, didn't taste very good. And then they both handled it well. It's not, but that was classic.
Okay. Well, beautiful, Pop. That's funny. Thank you for joining us on the show. I'm looking forward to it. We're going to have a lot of fun off-season episodes. Maybe by next time we chat, we have an Aaron Rodgers decision to break down. So looking forward to it.
Yeah, and next week, live from South Carolina.
There you go. You're a moving man. Things must be going well at the Eston Zone residence. That's for damn sure. So, Pop, appreciate you.
Buy your raffle tickets. Buy your merch. Let's go.
There he goes. Esden Zone joining us on the show in his weekly spot. I'll stay on for a little bit longer. I'll open up the phone lines for you guys. We have nearly 700 people in the room, baby. Like the video, hit subscribe. Now, all show, we've been talking about it, okay? All show, we've been talking about the giveaways and giving away the autographed football and the Nike Salute to Service, and all that's cool. And I hope all you people get to win as much as you can from it. We're also doing a giveaway for free. It's for subscribers, okay? For subscribers to the channel. We're trying to get to 10,000. That's my ultimate goal. Now, it's going to take some time to get there. So I want to incentivize all of you people listening out there that may not be subscribed to the channel, may not know who I am. I am Paul Esden Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I host a show every single bleeping day at 7:30 in the morning. Holidays, birthdays, doesn't matter. I'm always live here on the channel. So we have at least one show every single day. Plus, we have a bunch of bonus interviews. The last 2 weeks, here's some of the guests that have joined us. Rich Cimini, Jeremy Fowler, Lindsey Rhodes, Josina Anderson. I mean, we try to bring you guys superstar people to talk all things New York Jets here on the channel. And the way that you can pay me back if you really enjoy it is subscribing to the channel. We are only like 100 and change subscribers away from 7,500. Once we reach that total, I'll be giving away an autographed piece of New York Jets memorabilia signed by 2 former New York Jets first-round picks. And after every milestone, like 8,000 subscribers, 8,500, and everything else, we're going to be going bigger and better with all of these giveaways, giving back. So, folks, share out the link. Get your friends and family to subscribe to the channel. Again, it's free to do. Anyone with a YouTube account can subscribe. You can make a YouTube account to subscribe. If you watch it on Facebook or Twitter, it's super easy. So please, it would mean a great deal as we're trying to grow this channel. If you can hit subscribe on the channel, liking the video helps a lot too. So God bless. Thanks, everybody. We'll open up the phone lines next. I'll take a few calls here on Super Bowl Sunday, baby. And then we'll get going here on the channel. So let's play a quick Hep song. We'll be right back here on Boy Green Daily.
Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Talking just football, man. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. The New York Jets Football Club. Wow. Offense, defense, special teams. Watch the Super Bowl season with Boy Green. J-E-T-S. Jets. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. You're talking Jets football, man. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. The New York Jets Football Club. Wow. Offense, defense, special teams. Watch the Super Bowl season with Boy Green. J-E-T-S. Jets.
There he is, baby, Hep. And some people have said, we got to change that Hep song, this, that, or the other. Oh, no, baby. We're back on the Super Bowl train tomorrow. Everyone's 0-0, and we're going to chase that Super Bowl crown, baby. That's the only way to do it, and I can't wait. So Hep's passion and everything, I think, channels through all of us, which is beautiful. So, oh, yeah, baby. We're still going to win the whole gosh darn thing. Let's throw up the leaderboard here. Shout out to number one Austin Jet fan, 61 gifted memberships so far this month for Lily and Big D with 16, Jimmy Jets at 10, DNY for Life 5, and MFC 4, and Ed Vargas, another shout out as well. Thanks everybody for supporting the channel. It means a lot. Let's go to the phone lines here. Answer a couple of calls. Up next, NY Jets FL, baby. He's on the show.
Paul, I got my internet back. I was kidding. It's been silly, the ridiculous quality of internet I've had. I mean, I just driving around, not getting any signal. Great show the other day on Ashton Genty. That was like a perfect show for me. After that whole
caused a lot of ruffling of the feathers in the fan base, and I got tweets about it. A lot of people were not very happy at all about that, but I liked it.
Got to be a visionary. Paul, on the Jets, real quick. I wouldn't bring Rodgers back. I mean,
Okay.
I've been waffling, but the whole Garrett Wilson thing, if you really, I mean, he's a true number one. Okay, so you want to get that, you want to keep that guy happy. So
Of course.
I would say blow it up. On the Super Bowl, I
Mhm.
think the Eagles win easily. I think the Eagles win easily. They're going to
Easily?
dominate in. Yes,
Wow.
they're going to dominate the trenches. They're going to harass Mahomes. They're able to run the ball effectively, and they probably dictate the running game on them. Quite honestly, I really do. And if not, I think you're going to see Hurts. You know, they have the ability to open it up. You know, they have some really good wide receiver talent. So I don't know. I just don't see it being a close game. I really don't. The Chiefs have lived on borrowed time for a lot of games. They should have lost quite a few games this year.
Definitely.
They've looked weak in a lot of games. They don't. I mean, I don't see it. I really
So
don't.
is it?
I mean,
Obviously, Patrick Mahomes has lost Super Bowl before. That was to Tom Brady. I think they lost 31-9, if I remember correctly. Is it that bad? Is it worse? What say you?
yeah,
What's
I
the
would
final
say double.
score?
I would say like 31-20. Something
Okay,
like
so
that.
not as bad. Not as bad of a loss as he had previously to Tampa Bay.
No, but double
But still
digits
bad.
though.
No,
Double
that
digits.
would be eyebrow raising if he lost by double digits. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I think I don't think you're gonna see Nick Farrier for like a month after that. So don't expect him to be.
Oh boy. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Mm.
Anyway, Paul, hope you have a great day with your tailgate.
Yeah.
On the Jets, let me tell you one thing: the coaching hires and everything that's fallen into place after the Aaron Glenn hiring has been tremendous. And I know it's on paper,
Sure.
but you could see Woody taking the steps necessary finally to have a quality staff and maybe hands off on the team where they can actually, not be like Jerry Jones light, the Cowboys.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it. All right, Paul. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Ted. Appreciate you, pal. And yeah, I know there's some people that don't feel optimistic about the Aaron Glenn thing. We've talked about those people. We've had those people on the show that are not optimistic about this. But to me, even the most pessimistic person with the hires and how Darren Muji's been taking people out of the front office, that's got to be incredibly, encouraging. Like Greg Nedjma, he had been there for 16 years. He had survived multiple regime changes. And he survived, and Darren Muji comes in, he's like, you're gone, you're gone, you're gone. He's putting in his own guys. Again, that doesn't guarantee success, obviously. It does not. But it's just like a different vibe. We're getting a different vibe right now. It's the offseason. We always get vibes in the offseason from people, but I'm just telling you, that to me is really intriguing. But man, the Chiefs losing by double digits. I like that people are having takes on here and delivering them, but he's just got that Super Bowl experience. I know Jalen Hurts has been there before, and he played really well in that Super Bowl they lost, but the Chiefs just feel inevitable, man. And look at this. Tiff is back, baby. Holy cannoli. Like and subscribe, guys. Hey now.
Wow.
That's some more raffle tickets here for Tiff on the channel. Absolutely appreciate it. Thank you so much. There's 4 more raffle tickets for Tiff. That's 7 raffle tickets so far this month. Thank you so much, Tiff, for all the support, baby. And holy cannoli. Yeah. More raffle tickets and like and subscribe, guys. Spread Boy Green Daily like a disease, like a virus all over the place. Let's get it to as many people as possible. That's the goal, baby. So, Tiff, thank you so much. I appreciate you supporting the show. It's meant a lot this month. So, thank you, Tiff. And more raffle tickets. Hey, maybe you'll be winning some action. We'll certainly see. Appreciate you, Tiff. Thank you. Thank you kindly. A bunch of more raffle tickets. Got to update the banner again. You guys are moving and grooving. We are firing. This show has been terrific. All right, let's go back to the phone lines here. Look at this. Look at this. Let's bring him on the show. June the GM. And what hat is that? Is that the Knicks?
Let me tell you something, Mr. Paul. I've
right.
been a Knicks fan since the days of Bernard King and Trent Tucker.
Wow.
So I'm not going to betray them now. But I do want to say something.
Okay.
It's a disgrace to lose by 30 points in the Garden You know what they do to us? They make us feel like, there's hope for a championship, and then Boston says, you got to relax. You ain't ready yet. It's disgraceful. It's disgusting. And I'm sick of that's 2 times we got blown out like that this year.
I think there's, I'm going to mess it up. I couldn't remember. There's 4 games. Yeah, I think there's, no, you did. I'm trying to remember how many games there are between Celtics and Knicks. I think there's 4 or 3 this year. There's 4 or 3.
My God, listen, I'm not staying on this too long, but come on, this is disgusting, man. It gave me that Buffalo Jets game, end of the year. They just smash that game. Calm down, you ain't close. Oh my God. Anyway, I don't know what is the truth behind the so-called Davante Adams wanted to play in the West Coast, right? But
we just saw that report from Jeremy Fowler. That's correct.
Right.
Yeah.
So if that's true, can that be an indication that perhaps A-Rod also wants out because Davante already kind of knows something that we don't by saying, hey, I'd rather go to the West Coast. It's a little funny. I don't like the vibe of that. And I don't know. Something tells me, Paul, I don't think he's coming back. I want him back. I want him back. But I think that Aaron Glenn is too strong of a personality for him. And I think that, when you put 2 alpha males, 2 lions in the room, a lion got to come up. And I don't think that with all the wise decisions that Aaron Glenn's been making, and correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but with all the great decisions he's been making to his coaching staff, even the most recent hire, does he really want to start his regime being second-guessed by Aaron Rodgers or disrespected or having him on a McAfee show, giving his opinion? Because Aaron Rodgers isn't changing. Yeah. I don't see him being humble enough to say, you know what, I keep my mouth shut. I'm going to get off the McAfee show. I'm going to focus. I'm all in. We want that. I want that. Yeah. But do you really think, Paul, that he's going to do that? That he's going to humble himself like that?
It's a good question. My gut says that they're going to. So here's my thought process. Whether this is right or wrong, I don't know. I think Aaron Rodgers is coming back and the Jets are bringing him back. And the reason for the delay from when Aaron Glenn is hired and the decision now, it's almost like, and I think I've brought this example up in the past. If we're watching the Super Bowl today and, a play happens, right? First down, not a first down. And then the refs go, whoa. We're going to take a gander at that. Hang on tight, folks. Do the jog over to the little machine. I don't even know if they do the cup machine anymore. It's probably a tablet. But whatever. They're cupping the machine, and they're taking a lot of time, and we're all waiting. When they're taking time, you're like, oh, shit, that means they got to be factoring in all these things. That's why it's taking so long. So I'm converting that to here. Like, it must be a change, because if it were to stand, you take a peek, yep, same shit. Yeah, everybody, call stands. But when it changes, that's when we're really huddling in there going, oh, we need a little bit of this, little bit of that, little bit. To me, the time that's happening here of all this time going by for the Jets is them going, oh, shit, all right, Aaron, well, you're going to have to bring your contract from this to this. Hey, Devante, you're going to have to bring this to this. I think those are the conversations. I think that's why it's taking so long to me, and I think Aaron's coming back. But let me flip it back to you. I just want to hear you. So you think Aaron is not coming back? Not that you don't want him, but that you think he is not. Do you think he retires, or do you think that he goes play somewhere else?
If Aaron Rodgers doesn't come back to us, he's definitely not going to retire. I don't see that man retiring. Okay. I think he still got it. You got to remember, like I said, it takes a while to come back from an Achilles injury, yet alone an Achilles injury in your 40s. Mm-hmm. I would see him coming back somewhere else. Now, if he comes back, please understand, he's not coming back to no Tennessee Titans or no Cleveland Browns. He's not going to put himself through that. If it's not us, it's going to have to be a team that's contending. What team that's contending needs a quarterback? Not many. But can you see Aaron Rodgers in Miami?
Right? Miami?
In Miami, Tua's made of plexiglass. Tua's no good. Him, he's a concussion away from, not saying it's Miami, but a team like that, the quarterback is kind of, we don't know. I would hate to lose him, but I did want to say this though.
Sure, yeah.
I'm happy that they're gonna end all suspense, because I think we all need to know what's going on with A-Rod. Like I said, I want him back. It feels kind of weird to me. But about the Super Bowl today.
Yeah. Lay it on me.
If you guys want to lose money, put your money on the Eagles. If you just want to be broke, I get it. If you like being broke, because I'm gonna tell you why. Okay. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, okay? I'm not that type of dude, but let's be realistic. Mm-hmm. The guy who's the head ref of the game is 6-1 when doing favorites on the game. Okay, the favorites are 6-1 when he's reffing.
Yeah.
If anybody here thinks that the NFL is going to allow the Swifties, that means Taylor Swift, the Swifties, the Kansas City Swifties, to get blown out by the Eagles, you got to be out your damn mind. You don't watch sports. It's going to be a close game, and Patrick Kermit the Frog Mahomes is going to pull it out. I don't know how, maybe to Kelsey, maybe one of those runs where mysteriously everybody just misses him and can't put a hand on him. Something crazy is going to happen. Kansas City, 27-24.
Powerful. I love it, June. Thanks for the call, pal. Yeah, again, the Chiefs just feel inevitable. I don't know, man. And are the Eagles the team that's going to be taking people out? It seems tough. All right, we got more phone calls to get to, but good Lord, a surge of memberships. We got #1 Austrian Jets fan gifting a membership. Okie dokie. All right, let's here. I will announce all the memberships, and then I'll get out my reading glasses here, and I'll do some reading. So we have #1 Austrian Jet fan. You just gifted a membership. Jimmy Jets just gifted 10 memberships here on the channel. Oh wow!
Here's what I do know: we're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
Go 10 from Jimmy Jets, but wait, there's more. I'm doing a Billy Mays here. God rest his soul. I can't believe that guy's dead. Connor Long with the Boy Green Coffee Club gifted membership. The real Connor Long. I guess he's got to add that to his name. The real Connor Long, just so there's no debate. And then Connor Long gifted another Boy Green Coffee Club membership. What the? Wow, there's a lot of showing off, is what Tiff said there. And then we got a super sticker for $1.49. Okay, there we go. Every time I get a super sticker, I guess we're going to need one of these too. Let's roll, baby.
Wow.
That's a lot of action. All right, let's read all these new members. So, Mr. Bozak122, you were just gifted a Boy Green Coffee Club membership from our #1 Austrian Jet fan. This one's from Jimmy Jets. Tiff going, damn it, as all these memberships are flying in. Backwoods Aren't Cool, Gilbert Gonzalez, G Money, Billy Minanovic, Indy Jets, Phil M. James Fowles were all gifted memberships by Jimmy Jets. Jets Runny, Sco, MD, Flight Boys 2.0 Slim God was gifted a membership from Connor Long, and Connor also gifted a membership to Trio as well. Look at a surge of action happening in there. Good Lord. I'm going to have to catch up on all that here in short order in terms of the banner, folks. So I'll take the banner off for now as we're doing all the math behind the scenes. But let's go back to the phone lines on a Super Bowl Sunday. We got 800 people in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe, baby. We got everybody here on the show. So many people calling in. I'll try to get to all you guys, baby. Let's go up next. Chef Kevin Gilbert joins us here on the program. Chef.
BG, what's up, man? How you doing?
What's poppin', baby? It's great to have you.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Just always appreciate your early show, man. As I'm here in the morning at the job, just getting things situated. I'm able to.
Hey, what's on the Super Bowl menu? Give it to us. What's on the Super Bowl menu tonight?
So we do. We're not that like pitcher of beers and shots like Buffalo Wild Wing, Hooters, if they're still around. Like, we're not that spot. And where we are in Caldwell, it's like a lot of families. So what we do is just like big on catering food, where it's like cheeseburger, spring rolls. We have these pretzel sticks, pretty big, that we put like our signature crab dip on it. We obviously the wings. A couple years ago, it sucks, man. A couple years ago, we came in second place for best wings in Jersey.
Yeah.
But we have really good wings. We do sliders, fingers, all that stuff or whatever. But by 6 o'clock, we're closed. We make a ton of money. Like today's brunch is our second time doing our February brunch menu. I like seasonal stuff. I like switching it up. After brunch, it's kind of a little low, and then it ramps up with all this catering stuff. Like we have over 200 orders already that we got to execute catering wise, and like the lowest amount of wings per order is around 75. So a lot of people are getting like 100, 150, 200 wings per order, which is pretty cool. And I heard you before talking about wings, like the market price is crazy. Like
Yeah.
wing prices are down,
Oh,
and
okay.
egg prices are up, which is like crazy.
What?
It doesn't make no kind of sense, like
All
why
right.
there's so much like wings available where it's like it's probably about like $25 cheaper per 40-pound case.
Uh-huh.
um but now these shell eggs, like 15 dozen, man, they're gonna run you right now like around $160, $170,
What?
15 dozen, which is, dude, it's wild, man. I'm
What
just
the?
not the
Okay.
I feel bad for the bagel spots, the
Oh my
breakfast
God.
spots
Yeah.
that
Good
have
point.
to deal with that.
Hmm.
But for me, I just stick to my guns, man. Like I'm just because the market's going up and down, it's gonna come back down. So for that, I'm not gonna pump that price, make all new menus and whatnot, just because per egg is going up about 8, 11, 12 cents per. It's not like
Right.
we're losing money. Plus, on top of that, with liquor sales, beer sales, and all that. Plus, we do a ton of business off of our burgers. A lot of people love the burgers that we have
Yeah,
here.
I bet.
Those are award winning. Our cheesesteaks and all that. So, you got to be able to give back. You can't just think of like, okay, I got to save every single penny. Like, you got to make the people feel like they're getting a deal still, and
Hmm.
just not, dumping your menu and jacking up just off the eggs. Like avocados are crazy too right now.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, probably, with whatever's going on trade wise and whatnot. Uh, but for that, like I'm still standing firm, man. Like, with the avocados and all that, because on the flip side, salads like lettuce, romaine, iceberg, like all that stuff is down.
Hmm.
So it all balances out or whatever. But yeah, didn't really want to go off on a food tangent. The football stuff though, man. Like I said this last week, man. I
Hmm.
feel good with the position coaches that we got, man. It's just,
Hmm.
the experience, would like a little bit more experience in these certain positions, like Cromartie. I don't even know if he's still with us or whatever, but
No,
just know.
it's just an internship program. Let me see. I think Antonio just took a job somewhere. Let me make sure I see this. I just saw it from Antonio. He also does his own private, kind of like you see, like private quarterback coaches. He does private
Mhm.
corner coaching. I know he does that. Let me see. He was with Texas A&M for a couple of years. Did some GA work there. Yeah, it doesn't look like he's currently employed by anybody right now, including the Jets.
I love the player. Cromartie loved the player or whatever, but I just
Yeah.
felt like last year I felt like we took a step back in that department where
Hmm.
where he was in charge of. So I was just curious to see if we were, still holding on to like some of the other pieces from the regime. I understand we still got the wide receiver coach or
He's
whatever,
the only
but
one though. So they listen to you, Chef.
yeah,
You said no to the TOs and Aaron White kind of stuff, and all those guys are
yeah,
out. So
yeah,
I
yeah,
think the
yeah,
only one that was saved is Sean Jefferson.
yeah. It was like the player position coach just killed us last year from the line standpoint,
Hmm.
offense, defense, the game management, just the schemes and all that. Like we were just outworked, man. Like
Hmm.
I get the Rodgers stuff. Like I've said it on your show. I've said it on other shows too. Like with Rodgers, I get the stats and all that. It's
Hmm.
just like his boys. I think his boys hurt us because like last year with Lazard, he just kept dropping the ball and there was no accountability. Where last year, you can say what you want about Salah, but he sat him a couple times as a healthy scratch. Like when we're talking about holding people accountable and all that kind of stuff. Like there was
Hmm.
literally no accountability this season when it came to the offense, man. Like linemen were jumping off sides, we were dropping the ball left and right. Like people weren't in the right spots. Brees wasn't getting the job going, man. When you're just doing these stupid dive plays or whatever. I've kept saying is you gotta give him some space, man. Give him some space. Let him create. Like that's what he can do. Braylon, let him go off tackle. Let him go through maybe the 3 or the 4 hole. Like that's where we can get another yard or two, man. Like it was just pathetic, man, all around with all that kind of stuff. But then seeing like the special teams coach, like was it Bijan? I think it is. Like I think we need a fresh start, man. A fresh start on the special teams. Just something that will help us out, man. Like I get Gibson, man. Like I'm not totally on the hate for him,
Hmm.
because I didn't see him fumble the ball this year, like with the punts. The year before, like he had the jitters or whatever. Like obviously he had that walk off on 9/11. But last
Mhm.
year too, we did drop the ball a couple times, but I felt like this season he did a really good job making sure that the ball was secure. There was a couple times where he just let the ball go over his head or whatever, and we got pinned within the 10, within the 5 or whatever. So with that, definitely needed to clean up on. But he didn't really put us in bad positions like fumbling and turn the ball over. But at the
Mhm.
same time, like there wasn't a lot of positive yards once he caught it. Like maybe 5-7 yards. Like we never really saw like him breaking out for a gain of 30, a gain of 40 or so. He hasn't taken anything to the house. So since that walk off. So just maybe doing something different schematically or whatever, because last year was the first time everyone did these new kickoff rules, these kick returns and whatnot. So I kind of feel like getting somebody else in there now. You got a year under your belt to look at the film, see what other teams are doing, and then you kind of scheme up some stuff with the talent that we have on our roster to really get some yardage, man. These are just plays where we have the ability to create and get something where we're in field goal position, man. Like it's for me, it's important, man. But then when you look at the wide receiver core, it's like, all right, scratch Gibson, then it's like who else we have? Like I really like Brownlee, but man, he got no burn. We drafted Malachi Corley, like minus that boneheaded play or whatever where he dropped the ball right before he got in the touchdown. Like he just got put on ice, man. Like it was
100%.
like, you know what? They didn't really give him another shot, man. And obviously Hack, Keith Carter, like these two fools, man, it's just, totally just mess up our whole offense. But it's like with all these problems that we had on offense, like Rodgers was still able to get 28 touchdowns, man. Like it's hard to discredit that. Obviously, some of them came late in the game, and the quality of teams that we played or whatever towards the end where we were able to kind of like stat pad it up or whatever. But I feel like we had opportunities in other years. It was just we just couldn't get it done, man. And there were opportunities for Rodgers to get more than 28 touchdowns. Like there were drops that we
100%.
had, players that were open. Obviously that throw that he had to Yaboa where it was down his legs and he got all pissed off. Like, that was on Rodgers. That's what, and then overthrowing Garrett towards the end of the season as well. Like,
Oh, yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Where it's like, okay, we're being really critical on this Hall of Fame quarterback where we expect perfection. All right, he misses a couple times, but he's hitting more times than not, man. And just knowing that he's now a year out from that surgery, man, like next
Another
year,
year removed. Yeah.
that's what I'm saying, where if he really buys into the system of what we're going to be doing on offense, and then we get everybody else on the same page, man. I get Garrett Wilson's frustrations, man. Like, who on the? I mean, we just gotta be real. Who on the Jets right now, players wise, really wants to be here? Like, we've had a losing culture this whole time. We're singling out Garrett Wilson. What about everybody else, man? You really feel like Quentin Williams, like so happy and gung ho to be here and being in this demented franchise that we're dealing with? Dude, like as a fan, what do we have? Like we're all frustrated. Like if the Jets were to pick up and go somewhere else, I wouldn't. What would I do? I can't go to the games no more. I'm not going to be a Giants fan. Like I'll still root, but it's like it's tough, man. And there's not a lot of us. There's not a lot of us Jet fans, man. And you can't. I'm telling you right now, you can't find any bandwagon Jet fans. There's none. Like who in their right mind wants to be a part of the Jets if they have another team? Like nobody does that, man. There's no such thing as a fake Jeff, man. We're all real ones, man. Like you could think about whoever from the people that root for other teams and other players that still call themselves Jet fans and all that. Dude, it's just a sick way of thinking. But hey, at the end of the day, they're still fans, man. All right, they still tune in to the Jet stuff. They still follow the team. They still watch the games and all that kind of stuff. I'm kind of rambling right now, but it's just what it is, man. Like I don't really hold too much weight on Garrett, if it does come out publicly that he doesn't want to be with us anymore. Like, I can't even blame him, man. Like, what is this stuff? He's been dealing with Hackett. He's been dealing with Zach Wilson. He's been dealing with a pathetic O-line the last couple of years. I get this past year it was a little bit better, but still. And if Devante and Rodgers, do stay, he's now the third string. I mean the third wheel. That's what we saw. We saw that Adams was getting favored a lot more than Garrett was. Like in certain situations, like Garrett's wide open and Rodgers not even hitting him. or whatever. So it's like,
well, hopefully it gives this new regime a chance. Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji. I hope Garrett does and doesn't. I hope we don't get that report like the Myles Garrett thing. I hope we don't get a Garrett Wilson's requested a trade. That would hurt me. That doesn't mean you have to trade him, but that would hurt me for sure. So hopefully it gives him a chance.
And then it's like, you hear the stuff and then you see it yourself. You're like, damn, he's not following the Jets no more on Instagram or whatever. And you're just like, all right, a lot of people kind of, don't take too much stock into that kind of stuff. There's probably some smoke. The stuff's coming out. There's probably some smoke. But if we get the wins, man, all that stuff is just gonna go away, man. Like we need to get wins on paper. I get all the talk. I get Aaron Glenn saying, we built for this and all that. Like I get it. But if we're not seeing wins, man, I can't be bought in. I can't. I gotta see the product on the field, enough. Man, at the end of the day. I'm a run. I just want, Austrian Jet fan again. I appreciate him, what he's doing, with the memberships and all that, and then, getting the emoji and, being able to do all that stuff. Hep, man. I don't care what anybody says, man. Keep that Hep song going, man. Hep's a legend.
Baby.
Legend here, Florida Phil, man.
Oh. Chef? Oh, we lost Chef. I don't know what happened to his phone there. Also, I see fake Connor Long is back here in the chat. Fake Connor is back. What the hell? We have fake Connor here and real Connor. It's that Spider-Man meme of them pointing to each other. That's fake Connor, guys. Hey, is real Connor still in here? Hey, real Connor, what do you want me to do? You want me to send fake Connor to the Shadow Realm, whatever the equivalent of that is? We got to come up with a name. We have the Boy Green Coffee Club. What's the Shadow Realm for fake? Should we just toss him out? It's up to you, real Connor, who's also in here with fake Connor. This is very odd. So fake Connor, is he getting banned or is he going to try to reveal who he is? It's sort of awkward. Fake Connor came in here and real Connor is in the comment section. We got send him to the hole. All right. So Connor, am I sending him to the hole for 24 hours or I'm sending him to the hole forever? Because we could ban people here from the channel. It's up to you, real Connor. What are we doing with fake Connor? Yeah, it's a battle of the Connors. There's a lot of Connors. We already have a lot of Connors. Connor Hughes, Connor Rodgers, a lot of Connors. Forever. Okay, well, there you go. Sorry, fake Connor. But let me make sure I kick out the right Connor. That would be terrible if I accidentally sent out the wrong Connor and banned him forever instead. So yes, let me remove this Connor here on the channel. Nice try, pal. But you are gone forever, Connor. I'm afraid. I'm afraid so. Ban user and delete comments. Goodbye, fake Connor. God bless. I don't really have violins or anything to play for you, but you're officially gone. Goodbye, fake Connor. Fake Connor, thank you for your services. He actually stumbled into the bar and real Connor was in here. So fake Connor has now been banned forever. I'm sure fake Connor totally won't make another fake account to come, but for now, fake Connor is dead. Real Connor rejoice. Fake Connor is gone. All right, let's go to the phone lines. Hey, look, it's For Lily and Big D. For Lily?
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, loud and clear. Thanks for calling in.
Anytime. First of all, your show's awesome. Don't get to listen every morning, but I do try to get there as much as I can.
Thanks,
this
man.
whole fake Connor, real Connor thing is insanity. That guy should be.
What the hell?
I don't know, man. That's just strange. The reason I'm calling, I usually don't call, but I wanted to something your dad said, and I was hoping he would still be on the line, but obviously I know he has to get on with his bacon there.
Yeah.
Is that he mentioned okay, if we go with Aaron Rodgers, then we're back to basically step one the following year. But aren't we just in the same situation whether we go with Aaron Rodgers or not? I mean, who would be our long-term solution unless there's a trade out there for
right.
I don't know, something crazy like a Trevor Lawrence, a Goff, somebody like that. I don't see how we're in a different position after year one versus whether we had Tyrod Taylor doing it or Aaron Rodgers. If that's the case, I'd rather bring it all back and just go for it. I don't know. What's your thought on that? Maybe
no,
I don't know.
No, well, again, even though I was on, so before we actually traded for Rodgers, the months before, that's a trade I tried to will into existence. There wasn't a lot of chatter about it, but I said, if this whole Packers Aaron Rodgers thing kind of collapses, that'd be great. And then all these people said, Paul, they're not going to trade Aaron Rodgers. You're an idiot. And then they ultimately ended up trading him and moving him, and he was on the market. So who is that guy? Is it Matthew Stafford? Is there a youngerish guy than him, right? Is there someone that, to your point, somewhere between like 27 and 30 that potentially just suddenly becomes available that we don't expect, and that's someone you could jump in? That, to me, would be sort of interesting. So you never know. The NFL is a crazy-ass place, so trades come from all over the place. But, yeah, I sort of push back on that same narrative, too, that, again, if you take out Aaron Rodgers and you go back to step one, I don't really see it that way.
Yeah. The other thing I wanted to tell your dad is Jerry Jones is now, he's not the worst GM in Dallas anymore. I'm here, and I can tell you right now that the Dallas Mavericks GM is now enemy number one.
Nico. Nico. Oh, so which Jerry must just be over the moon about. Like, oh, thank God someone else has taken all the wrong spotlight here, which is terrific for Jerry. Oh my God, I can't believe Nico's done that. He apparently is receiving death threats. I mean, it's getting pretty intense out there in Dallas.
It's getting bad. It's almost, I feel bad for the guy almost. But
and then AD gets hurt immediately on the first game. I saw the people resharing the Aaron Rodgers running on the flag. Oh yeah. So AD in his first game that he ends up playing was yesterday. He got hurt, and it was a non-contact groin injury. He just collapsed to the ground, and everyone started doing, like I said, the Aaron Rodgers American flag debut things. I'm like, oh, God. Oh, no, not again. I think after the game, he said he's going to ultimately be fine. It's not going to be anything serious. But in the moment, he just collapsed to the ground, and everyone in Dallas land goes, get out. What are the chances? Oh, boy. Yeah. They're dealing with stuff.
Anyway, great show, and I just wanted to get your opinion on that of what we could do. But
I appreciate
the direction we're going in, and hopefully we can get this thing turned around. But great show. Thanks,
pal. Appreciate it. Thanks for calling in. There you go, for Lily and Big D. Oh, yeah, that's the thing I guess I should have asked is, have I been mispronouncing that the entire time? Now that I'm sort of seeing the spelling, I'm pretty sure I've been butchering that the entire time. So now is it too late? I've been sort of saying it forever now. But I guess that's neither here nor there. But for Lily and Big D, boom! Welcome to the show. Appreciate the call in, and thanks for the support. Thanks for calling in. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. Let's go to another OG on the channel. Neil Senior's here on the channel. What's up, Neil?
Paul, how are you?
Hey, Super Bowl Sunday, baby. Let's go.
I had a rough week. I had to bury my 91-year-old father-in-law. Ugh.
Oh, my God. I'm so sorry. That sucks.
Rough week.
Yeah, man.
What a life, man. Guy had a tremendous life. Patriarch.
91, that's beautiful. That's amazing.
Patriarch, came from Italy, 16 years old. Built a huge business. 21 great-grandchildren.
21? Good night.
Great-grandchildren.
Wow. Good Lord.
We had an after funeral lunch of like 65 people, all family. It was
my goodness.
But really a great guy. But
sounds like the grandkids were active. That's for sure.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Yeah, they were all pretty active. They're all pretty active.
Our thoughts and love are with you, Neil. I know that's a rough
my
deal.
wife. My wife, my mother-in-law is fine. He had 4 daughters, and they're all like with my mother-in-law, every minute, and she's got a lot of support, so it's all good,
And one quick question before we get to your Jet stuff, for Lily and Big D just asked, what part of Italy was he from? Do you know?
He was from Campobasso. It's like a little south of Rome.
Oh, beautiful.
Both came here. My mother-in-law and him basically met in Little Italy. They both came from similar towns in back in Italy, and they were married a couple of months ago. Get this number: 70 years anniversary. Wow. 70 years together. Okay?
Blessed be he.
Oh
my God! Friggin' crap!
I mean, the grandkids went up and did eulogy. I mean, stuff that he was such a great guy, sportsman, golfer, hunter, skier, taught us all how to snow ski. Took my brother-in-law, and as son-in-laws, he had no sons, so he took us all like as son-in-laws.
Yeah, right.
On all these different things. I was his golf partner. We
cool.
went skiing together. He took us all out west like 2-3 times a year. I mean, the guy was the generous, just a super guy. I mean, really an incredible guy.
Wow. Poor Lily said that I've been there. It's near where my parents were from. So, okay, we got a lot of Italy representation, baby. Nice.
I mean, I want to tell you something. These guys,
Yeah.
you know, I'm Sicilian 100%. My mother cooks Sicilian. And I want to tell you something. These guys can cook. I mean, since the pandemic, he basically stayed in the house with my mother-in-law. And my brother-in-law was assigned to go getting the foods at the different places that he liked to get it from. He liked the prosciutto from this pork store. He had the cookies from this, the pastries from there. The fish was the important thing because they're big fish eaters. He had to get fish from this place, fish from that place. And my brother-in-law basically just went around and picked up all the food. He'd get there about, get everything. And my father-in-law and mother-in-law would start cooking about 2:00 in the afternoon. I mean, the 7 fish dinners, the stuff. I mean, just incredible. Let's put it in perspective. When I met my wife, my first dinner there, I was 188 pounds. I hit a high at 336. My brother-in-law, John, was skinny Irish kid, and he was maybe $170. He's about 220. My brother-in-law Joe is 140. He went up to 240. We all gained 100 pounds basically eating their food.
Sounds an enjoyable gain, though. It sounds like it was well worth it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's just all about the eating. And the amazing part is all 4 of his daughters just look spectacular. My wife could still wear a bikini. My 64-year-old sister-in-law.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all still like slender. So
hey, baby. All right.
It's funny that, it's all about the food with them. But anyway, I still caught up, here and there on some of this stuff. I saw a little, different things. Your father, I mean, did Aaron Rodgers' dog shit on his lawn or something? I mean, your father hates Aaron Rodgers. I don't know what the hell the problem is.
His guts, which makes me want him back even more, to be honest with you. Just for my own, I want Rodgers back because I think Rodgers is the best option for the Jets. In addition to that, I also want Rodgers back because it obviously bothers the shit out of my dad, which is great. So it's a win-win. Yeah,
I don't get it. I just don't get it. I mean, look, I heard about that Davante, when you just mentioned earlier on the show, somebody said about Davante Adams wanting to play on the West Coast.
Yeah.
Or something. Is that what I heard?
Yeah, so ESPN NFL insider Jeremy Fowler, and he said this before this Rodgers report today that the decision's coming this week. He said it yesterday that if Devante gets released, he has his eye on the West Coast, Rams, 49ers, all these other teams he would love to play for, basically. Yeah.
You got one or two options. How much steam is behind the Stafford moving? How much steam is
there's
behind
a little.
I've heard a lot about it, but not not too much.
So it sounds like he's going to play no matter what next year. I think that's what I heard. So now that he's going to play, is it Rams or is it somewhere else? So teams are going to start calling. I think officially they could start calling after today to make those trade calls. So yeah.
Because I see Rodgers, if he's not with us, at one or two places, either the Rams or the 49ers.
Wow.
And
that'd be interesting. Yeah.
Either of those two teams with him on it, at least making a, huge playoff run. And, typical Jet, I'd be not surprised to see Aaron Rodgers back in the Super Bowl next year. But not on our team, if that's the case.
It'd be like the Brett Favre thing, right? He went to the NFC title game the year after. Yeah.
All those non-Rodgers guys get their wish and see him in a Super Bowl. I'd like to see what they think then. I mean, that would be a real dagger in our ass. Worse than what the Giants are having to deal with right now, looking at Shaq.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Yeah.
God almighty. That cannot be a happy. The Giant fan today watching that Super Bowl has to be sick to their stomach.
That is hilarious.
Give me a break.
Yeah, that's great.
But I love the staff hirings. All the way across. I wasn't hot on Aaron Rodgers in the beginning because we all wanted an experienced guy at the helm. Right. But I like his attitude, and he's a Jet and the whole thing. I mean, look, Antonio Cromartie, he was nothing even close to Aaron Glenn. I watched Cromartie.
What, as a player you're talking about, or what?
Yes, as a player. He was second fiddle in my mind. Certainly second fiddle to Revis. And I seen games where he got torched and they picked on him a lot. And he was kind of a lot like Sauce because he had a lot of catch-up speed and a tremendous amount of talent.
100%. The body, yeah, the bodies are very similar. Slender,
Very
long
similar.
arm, lanky. Yeah, very much.
Right,
Yeah.
and he was like, he had what, 12, so many kids. He wasn't like he wasn't like
Oh, yeah, he's got a lot of children. Yes, that's true.
He wasn't dedicated to the sport. Aaron Glenn, you could see, is dedicated. I could see Aaron Glenn getting into the defense and teaching these kids in the corner room, especially Sauce, because Aaron Glenn always had his eye on the ball, always made big interceptions. Great kick and punt returner. He could really help whoever it is. I don't want Gibson to be doing it next year. Let's face it. I'm so glad they cleaned up the special teams.
Yeah, let's go to door number 2, please. Yes, or door number 3, whatever that is. Yes.
Exactly. And to the point, what everybody has to understand is there's three phases of a game, of a team. Offense, defense, and special teams. Our defense and special teams was bottom third in the league this year. The previous 2 years, it was top 5 in the league, right?
What number was that? What's the top 5?
I think top defense and special teams was top 5 the previous 2 years to last year.
Oh, yes. That's true. Yes, yeah. Prior to
Greg
the season,
Leg with
Thomas Morstead. Yeah.
And we had
Irv Charles and Justin Hardy.
Hardy the previous 2 years.
Yes.
We had a top 5 special teams. Special teams did not cost us games the previous 2 years. Last year, it cost us games.
Brutal.
Greg Leg cost us games. Certain things on turnovers on special teams cost us games. We had a horrible special teams and a horrible defense. That cost us at least, between the kicks and everything else, I say 3 games. The defense cost us at least 2 and the game scoring drives by Brissett and by the Colt quarterback Richardson. Never should have happened. There's 3 or 4 or 5 games there, Paul, that could have been wins rather than losses. I mean, let's face it. Everybody plays one-score games in this league. Kansas City is 17-0 and one-score games. That's
unbelievable. What a number.
The difference is coaching wins those games.
Yeah.
And we know for a fact. I forgot the number one important thing that we didn't have, and that was a coach this year. I mean, once Kyle left, we really had no coach. I mean, it was an absolute joke. So I think let's see what happens with Rodgers this week. I'd love to have him back.
Yep.
Because, again, if we get him, we get Davante, and it's less of a rebuild. What your father said about the stupid thing, we move everything back a year, it's all crap. I don't care about his cap hit the year after because we're not going to be paying a quarterback a lot of money. We'll presumably have a rookie quarterback, which $50 million to the cap is every quarterback in the league is a $50 million cap hit, right? Because they're all making $50 million. I don't care who it is. So I'm not worried about cap. I don't want to throw the season away because if we throw the season away this year, that's going to put Aaron Glenn in a bad spot. As far as Garrett Wilson's concerned, look, he's been good up to now. I think most of what people are saying is these stupid media beat writers putting words in his mouth, okay? I didn't hear out of his mouth he wants to lead the Jets. Did you? Did he actually say did Garrett Wilson put out that I want to be traded?
No, he has not. No.
All right, so until he says that, I don't get – that's all bullshit. It's all hearsay. The guy wants to win. I mean, he's been on a winning culture, like somebody said. Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, right? When's the last time he had experienced a winning season before he got into NFL? Never.
Yeah.
I won every game in high school, every game in college. You know, when you have that mentality and now you have to get used to losing, it's a very hard pill to swallow. So, and he's a competitor, all right? Now, as far as him not getting the ball, okay, look, he's 1A. Davante Adams is a better wide receiver than him. Anybody wants to argue that, they're full of shit, okay? He's good. He's really, really good. Yes, he's a 1, but he's not Davante Adams. So if I have Davante Adams and I have Garrett Wilson, and, you know, they're complaining Garrett Wilson didn't get the ball enough, how many targets did he have this year? Wasn't he like top 4 in targets or some shit?
He was. Yes. Yeah. I mean, I could get the official number. Let's see.
He got plenty of targets. He got plenty of targets. What does he want to go back to a bridge quarterback does he forget what he had the 2 years prior? Did Garrett Wilson lose his memory? You want to be playing with somebody that can't even throw you the ball and throws it the other direction? Come on.
Yeah, let's see. Let's see where we are on target. So I got them all right here. Let's see. All right. Garrett was 4th. He had 154 targets. Yeah.
Hey, come on now.
154.
I got the ball. I could see if nobody was targeting him, okay? And Aaron was ignoring him. That wasn't the case. And at the end of the season, granted, there was nothing else to play for. So selfishly, the last couple of games, he was favoring Davante a little bit. He wanted to get that 5th. You know what I'm saying? I get it. They're buddies. These guys hang out together all day long. Garrett Wilson is a new year now. And the other last thing I want to say, Aaron is going to learn the offense. He's going to learn the new offense. I think he's going to eat a lot of crow. I think he's going to become more. And the other, we have to create a running game. That's the other thing.
For sure.
When you have no running game as an offense, I don't care what quarterback is back there. He's never going to look 100% because they're anticipating pass all the time and they're going to be ready for it. So we have no running game. Last year, our running game was pathetic. And Terrible. It was, I think Brees was a step slow. I think he was injured a big part of the year. And our offensive line scheme and the running back coaches, again, coaching. Horrible offensive line coach. He should have been gone the year before. Horrible offensive line play. No open holes. You look at Barkley, he's running untouched in a lot of these.
Oh, my gosh.
He breaks one to the outside, and nobody touched. He could score touchdowns in two-hand touch.
Yeah.
Right, Paul? I mean, let's face it. We'll get it together.
Yes.
It's going to be a new season. Knicks, I'm a Knicks fan, but, I'm not.
Yikes.
I don't know, man. That was a bad game last night.
That was tough last night.
I got the shit kicked out of them. But, they have – but again, when these guys come into the Garden and there's star power there, you saw all the, everybody was there, right?
Sure.
Hate them, the big players come up in big spots at the Garden because they want to show off. And boy, oh man, he had a game, He had a game. So, we'll see what happens. I don't know. I think what's his name? The center's banged up. Our center is not playing 100%.
Oh, Mitchell, right?
No.
You're talking about Cat, because Mitchell's not back yet. Yeah, Cat, you're talking about, right? Karl Anthony Towns?
Yeah. He's not playing 100%. I mean, he can't have he was limping around. He's got a knee problem. His hand is screwed up. So we weren't playing 100% here. So we'll see what happens. I'm excited about the Mets. We got Alonso.
There you go. Yeah, he's back. Nice.
We got a lot to look forward to. This could be the year we have that trifecta in championships. Let's hope.
Wouldn't that be beautiful?
Knicks.
Hey,
I
that's
know a
the
lot
spirit.
of people want the Yankees back. I'll take the Mets. We're overdue. And then the Jets.
Okay.
When the expectations are the least, remember this, guys. I've been watching it 56 years without missing a snap. The best seasons we have are when the expectations are the least.
Well,
first-year coach, a lot of times we made the playoffs with a first-year coach more times than not. I think the only time we missed the playoffs with a first-year coach was who, Paul? I think Gase.
Obviously, Gase. Todd.
Gase first time. I mean, first-year coach.
Oh, you mean a first-time head coach you're talking about? Oh, so Todd.
No. If you go back to our coaches that started the first year, most of them made the playoffs.
Right. Eric Mangini, Herm Edwards, Rex Ryan. No. There's a good run, no doubt.
Who didn't make the playoffs? Only one, I think, didn't make the playoffs as a first-year coach. I think Gase was the first one. Yeah,
Gase. Well, Bowles, obviously, right? Bowles in his first year. Yeah, he won 10 games, but it's not. Again, it should have been.
Win 10? How about this? Could we win 10 games? I would be very happy.
I haven't seen that in. I haven't seen that in 10 years, so that would be nice, Neil. We can only hope. Yeah, 10 games, that'd be nice. Real quick, because I saw a lot of people were quite upset immediately with the Antonio Cromartie comments. I will just say this right off the top. I love Antonio. We follow each other on social media. Antonio's really was an awesome player, one of my favorite players in the league. There's no question. And I know that's probably why this individual called back in. June, the GM, throwing him back up on the screen. Yeah, you took particular side to that. So, yeah, I'll just let you respond there. Yeah.
Can you hear me, Paul?
Loud and clear, June. Yeah.
Okay, so listen. Neil, I don't know you. I've seen you do takes before. I respect your football knowledge and the history you have as a Jets fan. But to say that Antonio Cromartie wasn't on top of his game because of his personal life and all the kids he had, it's kind of crazy when Lawrence Taylor used to sniff half a kilo before games and still excel. Let's leave the personal stuff out the way. We're talking sports, okay? Because no man is free of sin. We all got some shit we do behind closed doors that nobody ever wants to find out about, okay? So let's be easy. On top of that, I remember Cromartie making an incredible kick return to put us in a position to win a big-time playoff game. So let's
the Colts
put some
game,
respect.
yeah, 100%.
Let's put some respect on Antonio Cromartie's name now. Yes, he's not Revis, he's not Aaron Glenn, he's not James Hasty. But hey, Antonio Cromartie was a great Jet, and I love him. That's it.
Hey, real quick, Neil actually says he would like to come on and talk to you. So here we go.
Neil, come on.
All right, take it easy. Relax, bro. Relax. I love June, by the way. I love your comments. I listen to you a lot.
Thank you, Mr.
Very
Neil.
great. Very, very knowledgeable. I listen to you with Jake's show. I see what you're doing. Love it. Love your
Thank you, Mr. Neil.
Dude, where'd you get that hat, man? I love the fucking hat.
Listen, man, it's actually on sale now for like $20 after I pay like
Where?
$60.
Where? You guys get all this shit.
If you go online and type up New York Jets hats, I think New Era has it or somebody like that for like around $20-$30 now.
It's a good
Boy,
sheen.
you gotta
Yeah,
get a new hat. Look at
I do. He said, "Oh wow, he's outclassing me here." All right, yeah, June. Please send me that separately. That's a very nice hat. Yeah,
Paul, come on now. Step up like June and you got the old goddamn logo on your head over there. Get a new cap on, will you?
Fair enough. That's a good point.
But Paul's hat game is serious. Paul, I don't think I've seen a hat twice on this guy. He got like 5,000 hats.
I know, but Paul, I like
it's a good point. It's a good point.
Who else wears good hat? Really interesting stuff. Ricky in Florida. Ricky's got interesting stuff.
Oh yeah.
He wears all that like stuff.
Ricky.
Where's he get his stuff, June?
I think Ricky gets custom-made stuff, man. Ricky's like a vampire, bro. He's in that dark room, and it just comes out of nowhere. Hey, Neil,
my feeling, what I just was trying to point out, June, is
yes, sir.
I feel we'll have enough help from Aaron Glenn on the secondary. I mean, that's where he's going to focus his time in the camp, is getting these guys straightened out. And Aaron Glenn, to me, I mean, he ran kicks back. He had interceptions for 100 yards. He ran a kickback on a kickoff. I mean, on a field goal miss. Aaron Glenn, to me, was second to Revis in all-time Jet history. And he was just amazing.
Let me ask you something, Neil. Let me ask you and Paul something. And this might sound like a crazy take, but is it safe to say, yes, I'm not saying that Aaron Glenn was a better corner than Darrell, Mr. Island Revis, but is it safe to say that Aaron Glenn gave us more wild moments as a Jet? Because he has some incredible plays he did.
Yes. I mean,
big
don't forget, his kick and punt, his return game. He was like so elusive. He was so shifty and quick twitched. He was like, and he did the high steps into the end zone. He was very much like Dion. He was like a Dion. If he was 3 inches taller, he would have been Dion. But he's a little bit short, and that really kind of, I think, hurt him a little bit when he went against some of the bigger receivers. But I'll tell you, man, he was heart-wise, nobody came close, man. Nobody.
Well, I'll tell you what. We know for a fact that Sauce ain't gonna play like that weak stuff he did last year. Because Sauce last year looked like one of the worst corners to him. I mean, holding all day, he holds the receiver all the way up the field. I think Glenn will clean him up. If Glenn could get him back to playing good, and we can, you know what? We should just leave Echols on our outside.
Yeah, I like Echols. I like Echols.
Echols is good.
If you give him a little bit of help, like I said, I like him. He doesn't have that catch-up speed, but he's glue, man. He's glue, and he's tough. And, I think we're okay there. We just need some fatties on the D-line to fill it up here a little bit and get it. And I think we're going to lose Sherwood. I think we're losing him. I don't think. I think he's either going to. I think he's going with either Salah or Ulbrich. But
that would be a big loss.
That's real true. But real quick, June, I just wanted to make sure that I know we got distracted. That that you just said everything that you wanted to say there.
Yeah. I just I don't like the personal life stuff and things like that because due to the fact that football players have always been a little crazy, right? I mean, let's be realistic.
Dude,
from the days of the kilo sniffing, true story.
Dude, I pull it back. But I will say to you, what I say is he was not dedicated to the football as much as like an Aaron Glenn. Aaron Glenn studied the game. That's my point. I mean, I think he would
respect that.
Look, LT stepped on the field, but he was so incredibly talented that he didn't really. Yeah, he didn't need to practice. I want to tell you a story. I want to tell you guys a true story.
Sure.
Back in the days, my friend was a messenger, right, in New York, right? So he used to work in Manhattan. He says one day, yo, June, I'm walking down the street and I look up and that's this block I always used to pass it. They sell crack on, crack, cocaine, all that stuff. And, one day I'm here early on my shit and I look and it's Lawrence Taylor copping a bag or something.
Oh,
he glimpses at me and walks off. I said, come on, bro. I said, Lawrence Taylor. He said, yo, June. He said, and he's not a liar, my friend. He says, June, it was Lawrence Taylor. He copped something, glimpsed at me and just kept it moving. I was like, wow. It wasn't on a game day, though. It was like kind of a
oh, thank
day.
God.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. That's a good story. Well, Neil, June, thanks, brother. Thanks. That's an end to the show on Super Bowl Sunday. Thanks to the 900 people in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe. A 2-hour show on Super Bowl Sunday. Amazing. And before we get off, it looks like we do have one more caller. I want to get him on because he was trying to get on earlier. Let's have one more caller here to finish this up. B-Mac here on the show. B-Mac, you're back.
Hey, Paul. It's good to see you this morning. I know you don't have that much time, so I just wanted to just get on just 2 topics, and then I'm going to get you my my Super Bowl prediction.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I'm going to give you my Rodgers prediction. I think he's going to retire, and I think that we might hear about that on Wednesday. I just think that I hope he's back with the Jets. I would love him to be back with the Jets, but I just think that with a new regime and a new offensive coaching staff, it just seems like he wants to, go through that again. And I don't know that he wouldn't want to go and start new with the new team again at age 41. So he might just call it a career. And I kind of think it's best for him just to retire. Not because that I think like play no more. I just think that like Kyle Brandt said it perfectly one time about Rodgers, that I've done enough. I am enough. You know what I mean? That's what he said. So I just think that, he has nothing to prove, and I think he will retire. That's my prediction. I think Wednesday. So what's your response?
Yeah, again, it's possible. It's within the realm of possibilities that he could just decide to hang him up, and thus the Jets' decision's easy because he said, I'm not playing, so they have to go in a different direction. So it has to be within possibilities here. I'll see. I'm curious. The decision comes this week, and it's going to have a dramatic impact on the Jets, because if he's back, I think you just have a completely different vision of the team as opposed to if he returns. So if he returns versus him retiring, I think there's a big trip. But no, you have to leave the possibility open that he retires.
And then real quick, my Super Bowl prediction, I got the Chiefs winning. I don't like Philadelphia. I can't stand them.
Sure.
I just, I hate their fans. I hate their team. I hate their logo. And I got the Chiefs winning. And I think it's going to be a blowout, 45-6.
So wait, let me get this straight. So on this show today, we've had someone give the prediction. Ted say the Eagles are going to blow out the Chiefs. They're going to beat them by double digits. Now I have BMAC saying no, the Chiefs are going to blow out the Eagles. So we're getting both. We're getting okay. That's good. All right, we got a little bit of everything here, so I love it. I hope it's not a blowout that bad because I want the game competitive and interesting. But if that happens, that happens. So okay, I love the prediction. Thanks, BMAC.
All right, that's it.
Appreciate it, BMAC. Thanks for calling to the show. Yes, let me get to one more super chat shout out before we sign off. Indy Jet sent this in again. We threw fake Connor out the window. That is again, it was a fake profile of 13-year-old Connor Long was here on the show. So super chat here.
Wow.
And so I banned fake Connor forever. He's banned forever. And I said, on Jake Asman's show, right? He's got Shadow Realm and Stupid Town and all these places. I don't have I don't have a place to send anyone. So I asked to the great audience, hey man, what's a good place in Indy Jets with his 4-month member super chat out? Send him to the Coffee Grinder. All right, Coffee Grinder it is. That's where fake Connor went and whoever else. I don't really kick people off my channel or throw them anywhere or anything of that nature. I mean, it takes, I'm a pretty laid back guy, so it takes something pretty crazy for someone to have to get kicked off my channel or a pile of money because it happened to Alan once, I guess. But it takes me a lot to do stuff like that. So I don't anticipate that sort of stuff happening a lot, but it's good to know we have the Coffee Grinder just in case it ever does. So Indy Jets, Coffee Grinder, I'm sure that'll stick. So great stuff. Fake Connor, goodbye. Great, real Connor. We appreciate you. Thank you guys for the show. This was a lot of fun. The super chats, the support of the channel, and all that jazz. And again, folks, I know it in my bones. This Super Bowl ring right here, baby, right there. Super Bowl 3. Look at those diamonds. It's actually a replica. Those aren't real diamonds, but New York Jets world champions. I know it in my plums. I know it in every fiber of my being. This is going to happen again for the Jets right here. It's going to happen. And we're going to be on a Super Bowl Sunday with the boy Green Daily on Super Bowl Sunday. I know it. I feel it. I just know it. It's going to happen. It is absolutely going to happen one day. And when it does, all of these trying times are going to be worth it because there's going to be a beautiful path that gets us back there. And when we look at the tough times, it's going to make the great times that much more worth it. Got Chiefs trying to win 1 billion Super Bowls and this many Super Bowls in a row. I know it's going to happen where the Jets are going to win one of these puppies. They're going to win one of these puppies. It's going to be special. We're going to all enjoy it together. So Hep Song, a Super Bowl season with Boy Green. We're going to watch one of those together, folks, and I can't wait for it. Thanks again to the 900 people that are in the room watching live right now, the people that watch after the fact. Again, if you could do me this small favor, please subscribe to the channel. It means a lot. We're trying to get to 10,000 subscribers, baby. And hopefully we can chip away and get there slowly but surely. And once we get to 7,500 subscribers again, one lucky subscriber is going to get a autographed piece of New York Jets memorabilia signed by 2 former New York Jets first-round picks. As soon as we reach 7,500, before the show started, we're like 100-something away. As soon as we reach it, we're going to send that out. So appreciate it. Enjoy the Super Bowl, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow morning with a post-Super Bowl 3-round New York Jets mock draft. And last week we did a mock draft with Dom C. If Aaron Rodgers was back, we'll do a 3-round mock draft with Aaron Rodgers potentially not being back. And how does that change the Jets draft process? We'll do that tomorrow morning live with Dom C. Enjoy the Super Bowl, everybody. We'll see you. God bless. Take care and go Jets.